Wait, my mic was off. Literally, no one could hear me. Okay, perfect. We're going to start the episode here. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 25 of season 2 of the Crackdown. I actually had my Spotify completely break, so I just panicked at the last second. Almost didn't even turn on the stream. So,
you don't actually listen to that music, by the way, do you? Because like, I've never heard of that before. Do you not actually know that artist? Do you?
I know.
Listen on stream or something.
I know who he is, but like I've never like listened to his album and been like, yeah, with Young Gravy or like any of that, you know. But like he has like one song that I actually found like pretty funny. But I mean, his whole thing is
Jiizuke. Like one thing I can't handle, and he's obviously just come to America the last couple of years. One thing I can't handle about Americans in esports is like the demographic makes no sense, Storm. How simultaneously is all the music like, yeah, I'm a different skin color than you, and I sell drugs and kill people, and I kill you, and people are like, I'm with this, and then they turn from listening to Spotify and they go, I might watch some TV now. Oh, what's this? Is this a 9-year-old vampire girl who's actually secretly 2,000 years old and does magic? Oh, time for cookery class. I'm like, who's the one human that is consuming both of these types of content? This doesn't even make sense. What is the demographic?
Oh, man.
What is the experts? What even are they?
I don't even know. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of like that. Like, I just look at different shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll listen to some like crazy rap, and then like maybe I'll just like watch like a documentary about the mafia, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is some like interesting like intellectual shit. And then I just go back to just being a complete dumbass. So I mean, maybe that's just how we're built over here.
I will say I can take it if people like know it's like a guilty pleasure. Like, they know it's not actually good. They just listen to it for like when I watch League of Legends. I know it's actually a good game. So whatever, get paid in it. So.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, look, maybe we'll be doing some Dota content around the international. That's my favorite tournament that happens every year. Like, that's
a tournament. Yeah, of course.
That's
great. The only important tournament.
What'd you say?
Isn't it the only important tournament in Dota?
Not really. Like, here's the thing. Dota actually got rid of that years ago. They have other tournaments. The thing is, though, it is the best tournament. Like, it kicks the shit out of the world, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, they have, like, the best format, and, you know, it's
you get millions if you win.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
money, yeah, exactly.
The money is absurd.
You only have to come something meant like 8th place to get like $1 million now. It's actually legit as prize money at that tournament. It's never, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually pretty funny because I heard from my Dota 2 team in AG that basically people keep their strategy until the international. So like you hide so much stuff, and then if you're like quarterfinal and you want to go semifinal, it's like 5 million more if you go semifinal. So you just,
of course.
Play the champions so you win that match.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
So you try to play default until that moment, and then you play like some crazy to go semifinals, to go finals.
Happens in League as well, Jiizuke. Like, what about Cloud9? They waited until the playoffs to do all these terrible drafts. Like, they kept secret terrible drafts. Didn't do any of them the last 3 weeks. Then the playoffs, so you know what? The entire chance to win the game. Just get all the worst champions in the game. Oh, we lost. Team Liquid, awesome. Great. That's a new thing they do with
I think it was not really Cloud9 draft being bad. It's just TL draft being they improved their draft so much, no?
They did definitely change what
I mean, they just changed completely the way they wanted to approach the game. In my opinion.
I thought it was great.
I was like, what the f do we do now? And then came for Telerik, we should do something.
Yeah.
And then they picked Shen both because that series, it was 1v1 Sven against Tactical the whole game. So I understood it completely, like, just take the best support to roam. I didn't see a Pyke, but I expected, I don't know, Pyke or something.
Okay. Look, I've been terrorized by the Jiizuke Pyke. Actually, your Pyke is pretty clean. But
thank you.
For people that don't know, Jiizuke is like, or at least last year, I haven't been playing much this year, but last year you were like a one-trick Pyke for like periods of the season where you'd only play Pyke in solo queue for like games after games after games. You were literally Thorn 2.0, except for like not Plat 4 or whatever Thorn is, but you know.
I don't know why he does it though. Let me guess. Jiizuke, because the joke is, it's true though, I just only ever play Pyke no matter what, and I do play sport most of the time. But the reason I do it, Jiizuke, is this. I learned from the best Hiller sang. The reason you play Pyke is this, because the game's never over if you're playing Pyke. My whole team can be losing. My lane can be losing. But I can still off over the map and do whatever stupid I want to do. So that's why it's fun, isn't it? There's always something you can do if you Pyke. It's not like being trapped in lanes like Yumi or something. There's nothing you can do. Just game's over, isn't it? Yeah. And you've never played in the first place.
Perfect.
The joke is playing Yumi's like when the little brother on the fucking Sega thinks he's playing, but like the controller isn't plugged in. That's half the sport champions in the game.
Yeah, the story about my pack, I guess, is just it's Perks and Cap's fault. They were flexing a lot. Like
Right.
in G2 2019, there was like
Yeah.
a Quadra flex spike, top mid bot, super plays
That's
it,
what-
AD
that's
plays
what
it,
got
mid
you
plays
into
it,
it.
top plays it, and then Yamato comes to me, I think you should learn Pike, and I'm like, this champion is so hard, I cannot learn it. And then I go into the off season, I play like 100 games in Korean solo queue, then I come to NA, I still play Pike, so and then they nerfed into that, and no one played it anymore. But
That's how you know
yeah.
Yamato's a different kind of human. Everyone else is going to leader. Like, stop playing all these aggressive assassins. And Yamato's coming to him like, you played any Pike recently? Maybe what the fuck around with that? Like, what were you talking about, Yamato? Like, do you want to lose these games? What?
Yeah.
Was this going to Worlds that he was asking that? Was just randomly you said?
I mean, let's just maybe like the game where Wonder wrote the thing. What is going on the paint?
Oh,
They were
right,
playing.
yes.
They were playing Pycumi bot, and we were all. They were playing Pycumi, Elise jungle, Nico mid, Yorick top.
Oh, that's right. Yes, this like troll game. Yeah, you're right.
No, it was not a troll game. They were drafting seriously, and they stomped us. But like when that game happened, we were like, I don't know what was our AD matchup, but we know that we win hard. But then Elise does 3 camps, sitting bot all the time, and Pyke just roams everywhere. It was like we were very surprised by that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, there's a lot of places we could actually start with this show, but I decided, you know what? Like, let's just go straight into the shit. I remember that Abbedagge had some choice words for you on this here show. He said, man, I hope that Jiizuke wins 1 lane versus me this entire season. Thought that you took a little bit of an exception to that comment, and yeah, I'll just give you your chance.
Saying, he did sort of like go out of his way to say that as well, because basically on the show we were sort of like, I mean, we didn't say anything about it, but he got the vibe, I'm guessing from Twitch chat, that like people thought he was being too boring or too safe with his answers. So he basically gave that opinion of Jiizuke as a way to sort of show that, you know, you could spice it up a bit. So what's weird is it's not like we suggested to say Jiizuke, from what I can remember. I think he just picked you as like his person that he thinks is overrated or something, I guess, you know.
I mean, honestly, I was laughing for so many reasons after I heard that. One is because he was in Vitality Academy when I was in Vitality, and we went up together even, and I know his character. And then when a character like this trash talk, I know he's gonna choke on stage. And then like on the last week they benched themselves, so I was like,
oh yes,
I was not sure what to think there. But overall, if you wanna take it literally, his statement. The Jace Oriana game we were even. The Lucian Azir game I was trying to kill him 24/7, and Viego was camping mid, so I think I won that one. So literally, I think we're 1-1, and well, you cannot see screams, but yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's 1-1 then in the air.
Question though, Jiizuke, because here's the thing: there's plenty of other people. I don't know why. Apparently, everyone just thinks you're shit, like double A, LS, like fucking list just going. I will say they're all Brain Trust members, the ones that said that, with the exception of LS. But here's the real question, right? Obviously, the timing's perfect, isn't it, Jiizuke? Because the next match, you literally play 100 Thieves in the playoffs. By the way, the winner of that game goes to Worlds. So it's actually a very high-pressure game. You know, I'm sure for Abbedagge, he's never been a Worlds, mate. He wants to go. So that statement he made where he's basically said, like, he'd like to see you win lane against him. What would your statement be? What are we going to see in this playoff match?
I'm gonna talk in game. He will know the moment he steps up in that... because we're playing on stage, the moment he goes on the stage, you will know what's going on.
Okay.
Would you pick TF?
On that page there.
Yeah, would you pick TF into his Yasuo, or is that only reserved for Yasui? Like, how much respect are you putting on him?
I could actually. I actually could.
All right.
I think.
Question, because you're pretty raw, right? There's no way, right? Unless something really weird happened, right? Just from the way that match looked, the Dignitas versus EG game, it doesn't look like you guys thought for even 1 second you could ever lose that. I mean, you almost won the game too, which, like, on paper you should have no chance to win it. Like, that looked easy as.
Yeah. I think game 2, everyone just messed up a little bit early game, and then they started throwing enemy, and then we throwed ourselves at Nashor. I don't know. It was a weird game to play. I think we were just. Not comfortable with what we, I guess, yeah, with what we were playing in a way. Not about, like, to me also.
It was good. Come on, there's no way.
Azir?
No, you just didn't think Dignitas the team was good. Their entire team looked pretty off. You know?
Yeah. Like
maybe the bot lane was okay, but I don't know. That's about it.
I mean, to me, I went on stage and I know that if we just play normal, we're gonna win. We don't have to do anything special, and we're gonna win. And just second game, we made sure they can come back. We made sure to give them something, give them some confidence. But yeah, I mean that game as well. It was my bad. I played Azir against Irelia maybe the last time towards 2018. I don't know. I didn't remember the matchup as I should have remembered, and yeah, I got the lane should have gone a different way. And when I said at the start of the game I'm gonna have pressure mid, and then I didn't have, so it's on me too.
I mean, isn't that something you say at the beginning of every single game? I'm gonna have pressure mid this game.
I can't believe he's doing this. Like, he's going like, "Oh, trust me, guys, I've got this matchup." And then later on, he's like, "Maybe I can't remember it that well from 2018." 2018, like, what? Coaching here now. Get him in here now. We need to sort this guy from 2018. Mate, in 2018, pick who you
I mean,
want.
I actually don't remember playing this matchup for so long, but I remember like I actually played against what was it, RNG mid? We played against RNG, against Shao mid, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
a couple of years back.
I was 30 aside against Irelia. As Azir against Irelia, so I was like, I remember this game, but maybe I saw like some more games in the future, but I just
I mean, isn't the matchup different since Aurelia is pretty much a completely different champion these days? I mean,
exactly. But I mean, we'll see next time. We'll see if I can pull it off. I'm confident.
How do you like approach a series like that when you know that you're pretty much going to win if you just play standard? Are you going into the series where you're just like, don't show anything like unique, like all the stuff that we worked on that we really like want, like when our backs up against the wall, we're going to save that for the 100 Thieves series? Like, is that kind of just the mentality, or what is your approach?
I mean, basically what you just said. Like I played the TF into Yasuo to not show some stuff, and I picked the Lucian for 5 when I can pick fourth game it was optimal, but fifth game I can pick a counter into Yasuo, and I just didn't, just to play the same stuff so I don't have to show anything for later. Yeah.
Did you personally play a little bit safer though? Because I was watching that whole series, and I actually thought you didn't go as ham as normally you would. Like you could have tried and styled on a bit harder.
Which game?
All of them. I thought in that series you actually played fairly conservative. You know, you got the lead, you just kept going with it. You didn't like do million dives all over the place. Like,
I would say
third game I quite went in. Third game.
Okay.
Like I was actually diving towers with calling and stuff. I'd say game 1 I cannot do much because it's TF against Yasuo, right? I can't really. Then I just group mid and gold card into enemy tower and stuff like that. But I'd say 3 and 4 I played like myself, and game 1 and 2 it was like more reserved because the game asked us to be reserved. Yeah. But yeah, also your point, we didn't need to do anything special. We will just win normally, you know.
Dom, this is just where like having certain accents, French one's a classic one, certain accents are just OP. Because when he just says some normal phrase like that, right? If anyone American goes, that's just what the game was asking you. Just go, oh, interesting metaphor. When he says it in that accent, like it's like you can just imagine him in the arena, you know. He reaches down, they go, Jiizuke, why did you play that way? He reaches down and takes some of the dirt. He goes, it's like the game is spoken to me. I can do what he's telling me. Like, it sounds God to when he's just like, it's amazing. All right.
I mean, I will say, like, I've talked to Italian people before, and Jiizuke is like as Italian as you can get. Like,
isn't he? I know.
I love it, man. It's the best.
I know, honestly, in AU you don't explore accent that much, but in AU, like we in one team we had one Polish, one Portuguese, one French, one Italian, one Korean. I just tell you what. The first week we cannot understand each other, okay?
Would imagine being that Mowgli guy. You literally come from living in Korea, and he says, all these motherfuckers are just butchering English all over the place. You're like, you think I even know English? I don't know. Like,
oh man.
No, but legit, like he knows like what's proper English. Like I think okay, Mowgli even had that teacher from England, so he was used to English accent.
But he's got Jiizuke's accent coming in afterwards.
He came in the room, and like Portuguese is weird, Polish is weird, I'm weird, French is weird, French accent is weird as well. Like what the it must have been hell for him. Really.
I mean, that's what Yamato said on my co-stream this weekend. He was like, when I got there, I literally couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And like, NA is like, we're like dealing with like problems. It's like, like I wonder if there's like a communication issue like in game. But then you go to like EU teams, they're like, we don't know what our teammates are saying in the game? Like, we can't communicate with each other. It's like such a next level of communication issues that you can't even comprehend if you're from.
That's
like,
why. That's why we just went in all the time. There's no way that just go in.
Easier, right? Yeah, exactly.
No, it doesn't. That one.
Just follow up. Just follow up.
Well,
Here's the thing, though. I alluded to it earlier. We should actually keep that trend going, Dom, because it is mad actually how many people have criticized this guy. Like, you think he was playing terribly or something? Like, first of all, there was obviously the one where I don't really personally. I actually want to ask you myself about the LS one, mate, because I found that one really weird. Like, I actually would have thought, like, LS usually likes like unorthodox people of their own style, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, in your case, what's weird is he was calling you like one of the worst laners in the league or something. Didn't he say you were like the 7th best laner or something crazy? Whereas, like, as far as I can tell, isn't laning one of your strengths, mate?
I was 8th and RGS was 3rd. Something like that.
He put the RGS guy.
He put him 3rd.
That's like when he put Selfie on that Phillips, and Selfie wasn't even an active player. Even I had to go like, come to one side a second. We need to come to Jesus moment with you, mate. How are you going to put Selfie above active players? Like, I don't know. That's just one of those weird ones then. Has he ever talked about that with you, Dom? Because that's such a weird take to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that he saw it is like, so I mean, the way I contextualize Jiizuke, we'll get into this in a minute, but my viewpoint of Jiizuke has shifted. Like, before I had this like idea that Jiizuke just like didn't give a like, that's literally what I viewed him as. I'm like, yeah, this guy just doesn't care. Like, look at this. Look at what he is doing right now with everyone missing. Like, this is just some like,
he's just a maniac, basically. He's just doing anything he wants.
Well, so I actually explained this to my chat, but the way that I now like try to characterize things, I use poker terms. So there's two like different schools of thought when it comes to poker. One of them is called loose aggressive. The other one is tight aggressive. It's tag and lag. And the like fundamental idea is that a loose aggressive player will play like a much wider range of starting hands. They're more willing to play a bunch of different starting hands because by playing so many different hands, your opponent doesn't really know what you have. If you're committing into a pot, if you're betting in a pot and you're playing every hand, you could literally have anything. So like they use that to their advantage to like win out situations. And I consider Jiizuke just like one of the most laggy players possible in that mentality where he's taking a lot of different trades. And the idea is that like when he like if he dies once in a lane and he's playing aggressively the whole time, let's say he plays like the jungler doesn't exist, he's up like 15 CS, but then he gets killed once, he's actually still even in that lane even after dying because he has so much pressure the entire time. And then like the other school of thought would be like tight aggressive, where you're just trying to take like micro advantages and you're playing like much fewer hands, but in general the hands you play are stronger, so you're going to get paid more when you win those hands. So now I just view Jiizuke as like a really laggy player where he's just taking a lot of different trades. And overall, the thing that I respect is when I try to think about how you play Jiizuke, I don't think about like what it would be for like somebody else. I just think about being your jungler. And I'm like, damn, I would love to play with a mid laner that is fighting for prio. Like, I can do so much if I actually have a player like that. But yeah, I think that the idea that we both had, to be honest, is that we thought Jiizuke just didn't give a like he was just getting paid, like chilling and just like
I say just in or whatever, like not caring if he dies in ints or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that was so. I think the week where we like really went in on Jiizuke was week one. Week one, I was like, man, this guy was so far ahead.
Time in it, right? This is the beginning of the split. Fair enough. I thought he was hating as you were like winning all the games. Okay.
I was one of the first converters to the Church of the Pope here. All right. Like I as soon as I started watching the proview, I'm like, you know what? I actually can see what he's doing here.
Here's the thing though, I've got the question for him, because here's the question, Jiizuke. You could just agree with everything Dom said and go, yes, Dom, you are very shrewd, my friend. You know, I want to know the truth though, because here's the problem. I get the feeling it's half and half. Like half of what he said is correct. Like you are just playing like for map pressure, like, you know, send a message, like show you aggressive. Half of it is. It's also just really fun to just go in whenever you feel like it, right? There's that as well. Like you could always use that as an excuse. Like, oh no, I was going for map pressure. Like it's just fun to go all in and try and kill people in it. Both are fun.
Like to be fair, is partly correct about the 15 said thing, and then make enemy jungle show mid. Like that's has been my thing for my whole career. Is basically like this is why with Sven we had a lot of success as well, because if you put Sven on Diana or something, actually we have 100% win rate on Diana by the way, but all the games on Diana is full clearing, and enemy jungle is helping mid because I'm playing Lucian most of the time with Diana, and the enemy jungle is doing maybe 3 camps, 4 camps into crab fight. My Diana is doing full clear while he's ganking me, and if he doesn't succeed, he actually takes nothing, and then I keep pushing mid. I'm ahead. They are just game is over, you know. It was basically like this. And if I die, it's just my bad. Maybe I play mechanically, I didn't time correctly, but like or like if you remember Dom, the GGS game, you remember Volibear gank mid, they were at Volibear LeBlanc, right? They kill me on third wave, then I TP back, I still have Prio, and I dove bot with it, you know?
Yep.
Like I made LeBlanc.
That was the Lee Sin game, right?
Yeah. I made LeBlanc TP mid, and I still dove bot. So actually, I just proved that their gank was useless. They took 1 kill. That's it, you know? They didn't take anything from it.
No,
and
I feel like that's so LPL influence, and you know I've seen Peter say that you watch a lot of LPL. Like, did this kind of like shape the way you want to play the game? Because you see a ton of this type of stuff in that league where people are willing to like accept a gank if it means that they're going to continue having tempo. Like it's like, oh well, the gank doesn't actually mean anything.
I mean, it's all about tempo and waves, and if you cannot use that, a gank is not worth it, in my opinion. Like many times I'm like, why is this guy ganking here? He's gonna lose some crap, you know? Like my jungle will be level 4, we're gonna fight on crab. If it's even to even, level 4 jungle will win the game, you know? Like on that crab fight.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, for me, I played like in 2018 when I went Korea in off season. We played LPL teams, and I actually played Doimi when it was in what was it?
Rogue Warriors, yes.
Yeah, it was with Clid, I think, jungle, and dude, they had this tactic, and they played Talon mid, okay? They played Talon mid and Graves jungle, and
that sounds terrible.
Talon, no, it's not. Trust me, it's not terrible.
Okay, all right, let's hear the story.
Pushing bot playing like Draven Alistar or something, okay? Draven Leona, Draven Adrus. And basically, Talon had 20 CS at the end of the game. 20. Okay. What they did was basically, Clid was, he started red, he came mid level 2, he kept pushing and pushing together all the time. Graves ended the game at like 100 CS or something. And Talon was 20, but they kept diving bot on every single wave. They actually just dove bot all the time, and I was Rise. I'm like 100 CS to 10, and I'm like, wait, this guy's gonna win. Actually, what he's doing is good. They're just perma dive inside. And after that, I guess my thought process about things just changed. Like it's not about. I was still a CS player, even if in spring I was like diving top a lot to Cabushard. We play Rise Jace, Resolution, this stuff, and we dive top a lot. But it completely changed after that, and I even played the Talon Predator my first game in LEC in summer. Like I played Talon Predator, I just dove bot, and my bot was like 60 CS ahead, and we just won the game like that, you know. But like it's a style that LPL created, because they just understand waves and like winning condition, you know. Like Wu is gonna win you the game. In the game, that Draven will win you the game if he's ahead, you know. It was basically like that, and. But yeah, in my years as well, I always watch every single VOD, LPL, LCK, Korean solo queue, Chinese solo queue, so I just, I just like to watch different styles and make it mine as much as possible.
You would never actually expect that, would you, Thorin? Like, that Jiizuke is actually somebody who watches a ton of VODs and watches, like, a bunch of competitive play? Like, most people
it definitely seems like he is like a natural, you know, like just plays the game and has fun and does whatever he feels like intuitively in the game. Yeah, you wouldn't expect he was doing homework or whatever.
You can ask anyone that never worked with me. I'm always watching a VOD even in the room, like always. Like even when people play solo queue, usually I watch VODs. I prefer that to, especially nowadays, any solo queue. I prefer that one over playing in a solo queue.
Yeah, for sure.
Just you learn so much.
I don't even know why the cams just moved.
You gain more from...
That's how you become a top pro. He used to just be an academy player last year, but he started watching VODs. He started learning from the Chinese and the Koreans, and now he's in LCS himself. See, everything's possible.
I was never in academy.
Let's do it. Technically true. You just technically true.
Now we're here.
I'll tell you right now, the reason you weren't in academy, mate, is because everyone saw what it was like when they sent Hooney to academy. They were like, there wouldn't even be any point. He would just ruin all the games. Everyone would get fired. You know, when Hooney went to academy, he was just running it down every game. It was mental.
Yep. Yeah, and then he got promoted.
He surely can't be getting away with it. Yeah, you're right. Then he literally got a starting spot as a result. Like, what? What? Imagine being another academy player. Like, so why are we here then? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that you actually mentioned in your interview. I mean, the story that you pretty much told was that when you were in EG last year, you were playing your own style. You had a Korean coach who wanted to have you play the team style, and you actually committed to that. You're like, you know what? I will play the style that you want for the team. So you played the style that you wanted for the team, and in reality, you just ended up getting benched because of it. Is this pretty much like what ended up occurring? Like, how did the whole process end up with you getting benched when you were one of like the best players on the team in spring?
I can explain the timeline a little, but it was like we bootcamp in Korea in December, like 2025 December, for like 3 weeks. Then we came to NA, and I played my style in Korea and January, most of it. But then in February, that what you just said, what Arian said, like just try to sacrifice your playstyle and play for the team playstyle, and that's when I went for it. And then that lasted like 1 month because we were losing every game. We almost don't make playoffs even. So like I want to go back to myself, and that's where I was like getting praise. And I think I got even third all-star because of it, because I was like smurfing for 4 weeks in a row or something. But like then I went back to it. Then we went to playoffs, and I mean my team wanted to play some way, and I wanted to play some way. It was just meant to fail always, you know. And then in summer was the same thing. I wanted to play my way one time, and then like middle June, almost July, we just said let's play the team style. And then after 1 month, I got benched because basically, if you watch those games back then, you can say that. Oh my God! Actually, no, never mind. Let's go.
I mean, sure. Like, so what I would say is like, so this was my take when watching the games was I thought that it was super weird that the timeline went that like Kumo was like at the beginning of spring, and then he started improving towards like the end of spring, and then in summer he looked actually like pretty reasonable. Like he was one of like he was a stable top laner within like LCS. He was no longer losing every lane. He didn't seem like he was a huge liability for the team. So the thing that didn't make sense for me was that when the switch happened is when I felt like the pairing made the most sense. Like, oh, now Kumo's not a liability, so now you're not trading off like, oh, Huni's much better than Kumo, so that's the advantage you're gaining by subbing out you and Kumo for Golden Glue and Huni. You're no longer gaining that top advantage. Like, did you have a similar thought process towards Kumo?
I mean, you know, for sure, coming from Vitality, the moment I came to AG, I wanted to play the style on top, and Kumo was weird because he's a rookie, right? So sometimes he's gonna win his lane because he understands the matchup completely, but sometimes he's gonna fuck up. But just because he's a rookie, he doesn't know every matchup end by end. So like when I remember if he had Volibear, Jace, Renekton, usually we're gonna win the lane, and I can run to him and we like snowball the game so hard it's just over. Basically like now, you know. But after, I think it was just I'm not gonna blame it on Kumo. It was just the team mood was so bad, like. It was just incredibly bad, and no team can ever perform in the state. That's what I think. And to me, the only thing that I regret about the year is that I didn't. The coaches didn't even give me one game with Uni in scrims, so we could never try to play that style. And we had actually Deftly in academy, so Deftly will play, and me and Uni will play. And I feel like it was free words if we played me and Uni. Like I was just really confident, but. The Korean coaches just put Bang and Uni always. So
I mean,
I at least I wanted to try. I wanted to try in scrims. Let's see if it works, and then play from there, right? But I didn't get the
So
chance.
the coach you're talking about, Irene, right? Was he actually already the coach of EG when they signed you, or did he get signed after you joined the team? Do you remember? Was he there before you joined?
I think before, yeah. Bang, Sven, Zizel were signed, and Darin was signed. Yeah.
Ah, right. Because one thing I find weird about that is, to me, what I can't understand about this situation is, you'd assume if you sign a player, at a minimum, you watched the last year of their play, if not more, and, you know, did all research and stuff. I don't know how someone could sign you to a team and then not know how you play. Like, as you said, in Vitality, there was a very defined playing style. Like, people should know exactly what you want to do, what you're good at.
I mean, if you want to know, like, the reason why I got signed is because there was the swap of Elemental Drakes, right? So they wanted someone that plays aggro mid to play for that, you know?
Right. I see what you mean. You might have swapped, yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted me to play aggro, but then I don't know what happened. So
then you got there and they're like, yeah, this is not what we had, like, not this aggro. Like, what the is going on here?
I know.
Yeah, so I got hired for that, but then not really. So I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, what is Peter's approach? Because it seems like you're liking playing under Peter way more. I mean, every time you talk about like him, it's just that like he pretty much like frees you up to play the way that you want to play. Like, what would you say Peter's strengths are for you as a coach? Because you've worked with a bunch of different coaches.
Yeah, but I mean, first I don't wanna blame it all on Irian because it's not true. Like it's like every player and every coach in that last year had some fault because if I'm the only one that wants to play like that, it means that I'm either wrong or right. Okay, I'm either wrong or right, and because everyone was against me, then I'm wrong and they're right. That's just the way it works, you know. But this year it's different because Impact joined, Ignar joined, Peter joined. There are 4 people that suddenly want to play my way, you know, because they think this can work. We can play so much aggressive, you know, and we can make it work. So like that's why it's different. It's not only Peter, but it's like Impact, Ignar, contracts now is like just Danny. So it's like everyone wants to play this way, and that's why it works. It's never one person fault in any case, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, since we were talking about definitely.
It's very rare. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look. So I'm gonna give you. Go for it. Go for it. What were you gonna say?
You ask. Yeah, you can ask.
Okay, so I mean, I wanted to ask the question about definitely because obviously there was like, I mean, from what I got from you, it's a mistranslation on Reddit where I think the title of the Reddit thread or something was that you said that it was impossible to win.
Impossible.
Yeah, impossible to win with definitely was the translation, and this is like kind of a narrative in the community right now. Some people are upset by it because they're like, oh man, like why would Jiizuke say something about that like that about a former teammate? Like that seems too harsh to say that it's impossible to win with somebody. So can you, since it was in Italian, can you clarify what actually was said and what you meant by your statement?
Yeah, sure. I mean, to give Italian lesson, impossible is basically there is only one word to translate impossible in Italian, and it's impossibile, and you didn't see it there, you know? You didn't see it. I mean, the fact that I called him a weakness doesn't change it, but I said, like, translated, it will be like, wait, where is it? It will be like, having a weakness like the one of Deathly, we didn't manage to win this time.
Okay.
That's the translation. And to me, to give some background to this, I didn't post on Facebook for 2 years, and basically I use Facebook only for my Italian community. And I gave a summary of my last 2 years, what I was going through, my mental and everything. And to me, that was even the least important thing about that post. But it's like I was explaining to my Italian community what was going on and why I didn't post and why I ignored them a bit, you know. And to me, just this style of writing is not even for Twitter, and to me it was just a summary of what happened in the last 2 years. That's it, you know. And talking about Deftly, it is true that I said it's a weakness, but it's for the exact point that we were talking about before. If he wanted to play away, all 4 wanted to play a different way. So it's always like it's gonna be a weakness for AG, sure, okay. It's gonna be a weakness for AG, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna be a weakness for any other team, you know. Like I won't be surprised if I saw Deftly in LCS next year. I don't think he's a bad AD carry, but he just didn't fit what we wanted. That's basically it, you know.
Yeah.
I think Danny instead fits really well. Like he understands and he wants to play as aggressive as he can as well, you know.
I also thought people went too far with that anyway. Like if the quote only said it's impossible to win with Deftly, that might sound like whatever in any game. No, you even said like in the playoffs, it was, if not impossible in this case, it was unlikely we're going to win in that case. Like that's not even a reasonable statement. We'll win the whole playoffs.
We didn't manage to win with a weakness like that. That's it, you know.
The
only bad thing is that it's a weakness, but that's not bad in itself if you know the context, you know. The context, yeah. Like and the context is that you just saw it, you know. Like when we played on everything, like anyone could see it. I didn't say anything that was new info, you know. I'm like. I just explained my 2 years to my Italian community. That's just it. I didn't mean to harm anyone. Actually, maybe the guy that posted it on Reddit harmed Deathly more than I did. Like, if I posted it
that's
in
how
Italian
it
community, 5k people sees it, or 10k, I don't know. But if posted already, oh shit, maybe now 1 million know. Like,
if someone only sees the headline and no, you're actually right, by the way, dude. If someone only sees the headline and they think you're a good player, then they're going to think, wow, Deathly's really sucks. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and
that's
like,
made it worse.
Like I didn't even answer to it when it posted because I'm like, this is my free day. I'm playing playoffs next week. I'm not even wasting mental energy for that because I know already always going. I'm gonna post something, and even if I cry for or anything, there are gonna be so many insults on the Twitter, or like.
What
I don't
about
wanna
this then?
give
Like,
that.
so obviously we put the definitely thing to bed. I want to ask about the other side, which is the player that replaced him, Danny, who literally was just the rookie of the year right now. I know it's not like a great award because not many people, but he obviously was the best. Like you could tell in the game, right? This player looks like a massive upgrade because I have to say, if you look at all these NA AD carries that have come through these last few years, there's a lot of an LCS actually. A lot of them are like good in one regard, but they're like really flawed in another. So for example, definitely only really seemed to be like good in lane. He always had problems in team fights. I looked like to me. I personally think tactical, just mad ints all over the place. Doesn't do as much now, but he was pretty bad for that this year. Danny seems, even though he's brand new, like he seems not only quite well rounded, but he seems to know how to play in the game. Like he doesn't take any unnecessary risks. Like it seems like he really understands what he's supposed to do in your team. What would you say about this player? Because to be that fresh in a team full of veterans, like he's doing his job.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, like with there are so many coaches working with him, and he's a rookie, so he can only go up, right? And to me, that he started like that is good for him. And the way we do things, regardless with the comms and everything, is just it's a breath of fresh air if you're him. Like I was this person in 2018, so I know. Like in 2018, I just didn't let myself like say I'm right or you should play my style or I think I know macro here or something, you know. I just let Cabochard and Yamato decide everything, and I was like, I'm not gonna talk until I actually think that I know something. That was my thought process. So I just chill, listen to a macro, and even my team, like Attila, Jacktor, Gilius, they all knew macro way better than me. I was always just the mechanical guy. So I only played on mechanics, and my team guided the game. And then maybe at words or something, I had my idea, but I waited so long, you know. And to me, actually, I kind of miss those days because it's so fun to just think about your game and just you don't have to mechanical and you can just basically like you can be the highlight of the game, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Because your team is getting macro and you just focus the best you can to play good. It's like to me, it's such a beautiful spot to be in.
yeah.
And now I can't. I mean, I have the experience and I have macro knowledge, and I wanna talk more, and I can influence more by talking as well. So, but it's a good place to be in,
Yeah,
and I think that's why he's also shining.
I mean, some people might have said that team was macro geniuses. I think we heard that at a point. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was the Jetro meme, no, that one.
Yep.
I don't know. It was Reddit, and then he copied from them, and then it became a meme.
By the way, Dom, I'll tell you who low key, I bet, is the person who loves Jiizuke the most in the entire North American continent. That has got to be Impact, mate. This guy played like 10 years of League of Legends on Dyrus treatment. Like, do I ever get to play? And they're like, no, just don't lose as hard as you could. Like, you know, but then they're just getting paid megabucks. Now, when he plays with Jiizuke, dude, he gets ganks all day long. The jungler and the mid laner gank his lane now. I bet he can't even handle it. I bet he's calling up Faker like, we didn't even have a jungler or a mid laner. What the I bet he's loving League of Legends now. It's the shit. Now you see, by the way, all those odd games where he plays carries, he's mega good now because he can actually like have resources on the map.
Impact is really insane, and I honestly I didn't expect it myself when I joined this year. But when we started playing and we see that we had to play that style, we could play that style, we started and never stopped. And also, he has so much experience that he knows the matchups mid as well. So we swap maybe I don't know times probably more than 5 or less than 5.
Yeah, it's
something
impressive.
like that. Like on stage, in scrims we swap all the time, but on stage we pull it out maybe 5 times. And I mean, if I think it's very rare, and if you just unite our champion pools, we can play so many champions. Enemy is just not prepared, you know. Like we can play any matchup, and enemy doesn't know about it because like they will learn. Oh, Impact is going mid, and then I 5-pick something top that I counter this guy so hard he doesn't even know the matchup. Actually, it was the first game of LCS, the game I entered.
Yeah, the Tristana top one. Oh, that one got me.
I mean, I was like 50 CS ahead, full tower plating. I think I went mid, I got tower plating there as well. But then I jumped mid, this guy doesn't die because it's a Divine Sunderer. Divine Sunderer was like, it was just there for like 1 week, 2 weeks now. And it was so broken. You get 300 HP with 1 hit. So I jumped to his guy, and he didn't die. I'm like, wait, how the fuck did that happen? This guy just regen like 300 HP with 1 hit. I'm like, okay. I guess I just hinted.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember that game. Like, I don't think that I've ever seen somebody as far ahead in a game as you were. Like, you came mid, and you were at 14 minutes. You had Kraken Slayer, upgraded boots, and PD at 14 minutes. Like,
I did the same the Adidas game actually. It was like it's my special. 40 minutes, you have 2 items and boots. I don't know.
yeah, it's insane. So I mean, I think that was the game that started getting you like a lot of criticism. But I think that when I heard
I had that one and the Lee War Jump. Anyway, to your point of the first week playing bad to me, on the first week I played what did I play? 2 games Tristana, 1 game Lucian. The Lucian game I couldn't do anything, but the first Tristana game I could have carried. The third Tristana game, if you remember, it was like the level 1 against FlyQuest. They just everything, and then we are behind scenario for 40 minutes. So you can say I played bad 1 game of that series, okay? 1 game. Then if you go next week, I played bad only the league game, and I still got on completely. Imagine that, you know? It just to me it's just there is like bias about stuff, and people just they waited the right moment to fucking destroy me, you know? And that's what it is. They almost succeeded, but I guess I played too good in the last 2 months, so they couldn't really flame me back anymore. That's what I think.
I mean, what do you think is the most misunderstood thing about your gameplay? Because it feels like you have a much different like perception of yourself than like the community does, and now there's people that are more like fans of you and your personality. But what to you is the main characteristic that the community just doesn't understand about how you play?
I mean, when you see me or when you saw Vitality in 2018-19, we just played one way, and it was you don't make the enemy play the game. No matter what, you just remove anything, you know? Like we ended up playing double jungle on stage. I played the Cartus Flash Smite. Okay, we had this comp. We had the Jace, Grace, Cartus, Ezreal Braum. We had the best level 1 in the game. We pulled it out on playoffs. Okay? And then we fucked up, but okay, that's whatever, you know? We even lost the game. But on scrims, we tried it maybe 5 to 10 times. And our only thought process was, how do we win the faster way? And that week, I guess it was enemy jungle as much as possible, because we just, in scrims, we had scenarios where we are level 6 on our jungle and enemy jungle is level 2. He has to farm lane to get levels. So like, and to me, I'm same. I'm just, I think of the way to make the enemy unable to play the game the most. And that's why I play that way, you know? And, I mean, there is many scenarios that even if you, I don't know, if you play control mages, like people talk about my control mages as well because I play aggro in lane. Like I play super aggro, like I would play Rise or something, you know? And why I do that is because it's always the best way to play, because as I said before about the jungle thing, that if they come mid, they waste tempo. It's always the best. If they come gank you, okay, you're wasting time. You saved your mid, good job, but you're gonna lose after. There is always a trade-off about everything, you know?
Yes.
It's like, what's the trade-off if I'm sitting back and just farming? It means nothing is happening, but because I'm doing something, then something will happen, you know? There will be an answer. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
It's like you were saying earlier, Dom, basically the poker analogy. What point he's making now is the reason why he finds that playing style super effective is because there's times where basically just like in poker, if you're playing very aggressively, you're betting all the time, you're betting people off hands, and you're going all in on hands that might not be the best, but they have to like call your bluff, as it were. You're going to win a whole bunch of hands where you actually have the worst hand. Whereas if you play perfect, like you'll say, like a nit, you play the most safe style, you have to basically always be correct almost when you actually do play a hand, and then when you play it, they're going to know you have something. You have to basically then execute perfectly. That's the reason why, if people don't get it, I've never thought that like the control mage players were actually like playing the best style. I think it's actually the hardest to execute. To be like a perfect like stay in lane to get all the CS is actually really, really hard. Like not least because you could get all the CS like we're talking about here and fuck up the whole map. Like you didn't do this thing for your top laner here, you didn't help the jungler here, you didn't go and group with the support. Like that actually could be a minus to about how many CS you got. So I think to me it's more like the question is just how responsible are you with the decision making. The idea of playing aggressively as a mid laner, by default, is probably the correct way to play.
Yeah, like to me, like I even make like to me the best skill is also that if you make a bad matchup a good matchup, and if by playing aggro you can make a bad matchup a good matchup, then you should definitely do it. You know, like we were talking about the GGS game before, right, Dom? But like the game I'm supposed to farm a tower, third wave or something, right? And it is Lessine will just farm a tower, and then on bounce maybe they can play for crab, right? That's what everyone will do. I went lane level 1 with W, and I created I went to W level 1 and I was sitting the wave, but this guy cannot contest me, and I got prio. And I had prio, and if the jungle didn't come, I would have prio again, and just go top bot or crab or something. So like that's one of the things I do as well. Is just even if you have a bad matchup, if you play the aggressive way and you enemy mid will not know what you're doing, then you end up winning. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just like the poker thing that we were talking about since we made the analogy. Like, then they have to call your bluff. Like, if you are playing a way where you're not allowed to play, they have to punish you. And if they don't, then you've just got away. You've just won the hand. So,
I mean, fake pressure is an important skill in this game. You know?
Oh, mate, if people don't know, that's basically the main thing. Literally, take everything else he did brilliantly out of the window. The main thing Faker basically taught League of Legends was how you do fake pressure all the time on mid lane. Yeah. The joke was Bengi never was there half the time. But the way Faker played, you were like, well, I can't go in if Bengi's in the brush when I come up and do 1v1. And he won so many free matches, and like you're saying, he could play the worst matchup in lane, but the way he played it would make the other person think, well, I have to give him some space here. Yeah. It's why if that point Abdul made about Faker was an apt point, fully enough, which is that you only have so much attention. So all these little things you're doing is taking attention away from the other lane. He's having to think, why are you roaming to the top of lane? He's playing a bit too aggressive on this matchup. Isn't it supposed to be losing? Oh, the jungler must be coming.
Why win worse? Is exactly the reason why doing worse. He has always a bad matchup, but it doesn't mean he has a bad 2-2 or 3-3 matchup, you know? He just played all the champions that you can just gank it, you know? All the time. So like, you're winning 20 CS? Fine, I'm just we play... What was the meta back then?
Nautilus.
Like, yeah, I remember they even pick Lucian against Kled, against Domi Kled, and then yeah, I'm 15.
He loves Kled, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, just with level 4 when my jungle commit, you're fucked. Like this, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's the king of playing those types of matchups. I think that's one of the reasons why he's super underrated. There's this like narrative about him being bad in lane, but like if you're picking Kled into Syndra, and yeah, you don't have pressure at like some points.
Like,
you gotta be a genius in lane in some sense. Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no going back around it, you know. Like this year, actually, it was the split. Yeah, like Rookie played Lucian against Domi Kled.
Yep.
Rookie was 20-25 CS up. Then he got ganked maybe 2 times, and then Doinby can solo kill him under tower, you know? Because it's just the lane phase is over. Like, it's over now. You just can engage this guy and kill him all the time. Because if you're not ahead in specific matchups against those melee champions, you're gonna always lose. So it's just about how much you lose and how much your team can give you. And it's actually the reason why Kassadin is always played in LPL, like not many games, but you see the Angel Doinby like playing it sometimes.
Yeah, Doinby played it pretty recently. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not about mid matchup. Okay, it's about mid matchup as well. You want the one pick Kassadin into Lucian.
Like the Lucian or Trist, yeah, of course.
Could happen, but you don't want that to happen. But if you see the jungle support in LPL, you will see that they sacrifice everything, even top lane. If you have a top lane set, they just push the wave and they help the Kassadin to just make him stabilize so he can play level 6. Because that's just a winning condition, you know? I have to reach level 6 with Kassadin. If you reach that, you're even or ahead, then you can start play the game and you have a lot of chances to win the game, you know?
Yeah.
If it's good for the enemy comp and everything.
Definitely.
That's just it was so fun. You remember the last year I played Kassadin to Karma?
Yeah.
To Cloud9. I was so behind, okay? I was so behind, but in my head, we had pressure jungle and top or bot. So I said at the start of the game, in Champions League, I'm gonna need help here. You guys have to help me. Like, it's Karma Olaf. They will f me over so much, you know? But then I didn't get any help, and then I'm like, suddenly, I took Conqueror and Corrupting Potion. I took the most scaling shit ever.
Yeah, you didn't take Doran Shield Fleet. You took
I took the most scaling shit ever because I know on level 6, if I'm even with Conqueror, this guy's dead. With Fleet, he's not dead. But on level 6, if I Conqueror, this guy's dead. So I expected to get help, and then I'm gonna solo kill this guy at level 6, and I can dominate the map after. But that didn't happen, and oh shit, it's a hint. But if you do that in LPL, that draft was like good for Kassadin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that I normally notice.
The very last.
Well, I mean, so to your point, I think the main thing that I take away when I watch LPL is how they view these types of situations as like team issues. It's like if Kassadin needs a push out, like it's a top laner that can help you, it's a support that can help you. Where I feel like a lot of the times when I watch NA teams, it seems like it's like the jungler's duty or some shit to do that. It's like, oh, you need a push out? Well, I mean, maybe if the jungler can do it, it's like everyone's trying to like remove the responsibility from themselves and just push it onto somebody else. It's like, oh, can you do it? Like, can you do that? And I just feel like I mean, at the end of the day, it's a team game, and like somebody just needs to be willing to sacrifice. I just feel like there's not enough players that are willing to like sacrifice themselves a lot of the time, or sacrifice like a good lane state to potentially help a teammate. So yeah, I definitely see that issue with
About finding your win condition. Like many times I guess we played the Resnek a few times, the split. But like, you will see all the time me and Impact sacrificing for each other. So like, I had we had 2 times I sacrificed for him a lot, and it was 5-0. And one game he sacrificed for me, and I was 5-0. And same on Lucian game against Nitas, like he let me have the Herald plating on top, and then the second tower, and then he knew that I'm gonna carry the game after that, you know. But maybe if Kennen got it, he can't really pressure us much because he has to go in a period, like we need a team fight or something. But he gave the goal to me, so like just about finding your win condition and snowball it as hard as you can, even if it means that you give up yourself. And that's the thing that doesn't happen often, especially in NA, because I guess everyone wants to look good, but to us we don't give a shit.
It's because of the co-streamers, you know. They don't want to get flamed by the co-streamers, so they have to look good as much as possible.
Some people might know this as like a piece of trivia, but there's been a few Western figures who actually got offers over the years to go and play in the LPL. Like Double Lift was one, I believe. I know Forgiven.
I think Reckless got one.
Reckless, a bunch of Westerners, Froggen. I know, like as a coach, Youngbuck had him, and these are all like legit offers, by the way. You get like it's an LPL team, you get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars each year. The thing is, though, everyone else, Bjergsen, I think had one. The problem is, though, almost everyone else was never ever really going to take them. I think the closest was like Forgiven thought about it, and even then it was because he had no like offers, you know. Like everyone else is always just like, oh, it's a cool offer to think about, but I'd never really go and do it. Jiizuke, unironically, should actually do it for real. Like if you get the offer, because think about it. First of all, it's the LPL. You can do whatever you want. There's no such thing as an int. That is just like you're just playing good League of Legends. That could have been a kill. Secondly, you get paid mad dinero, mate. All that money, all that lira, get all that. And then thirdly, dude, you would be so huge. They would just market the out you. You'd be popping up in all commercials like, "Hey, it's me, Jiizuke." Like eating Pringles or whatever. Funny pesto flavor. You get so many millions, mate. You wouldn't. Dombey and Vicky being all the commercials.
Wait, when is your contract up, Jiizuke? When is it this year?
Exactly. Yeah.
Ninjas in pajamas, those are your boys. I mean, they might have the V5 lineup that went like 0-16 this split, so like you might. Yeah, they might. You might get to play with some teammates, but you'll be popular. I'll tell you that. Like.
I mean, to be fair, it's something I thought about, and if I knew China tomorrow or like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I had offers, I would probably think about it, you know. But I guess that's the main thing. It's even with why no players have accepted an LCK offer. Well, there were, I'm pretty sure, and I know of a few. Like people don't accept just because of language barrier.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
You know what happened with when there was like the Korean mob going around in Europe in NA. You know what happened there. Like you know the communication problems that there were all the time. Like and if you can't solve that, that's the main thing, you know. You just wanna explain everything to each other and understand each other on a deep level. If you cannot do that, then it's just really hard to play this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless there's one example though, Jiizuke. There's one example though, right? I agree with you in general. I would tell most people don't do it. Like you're not going to be able to understand them. It's going to be too hard. The one player I actually told to accept the offer though was Forgiven, because what I told him is this: one, you're in AD carry you with you. All they do there is just let the AD carry get all the resources. Like one, it'll be great. And then I said two, the fact that you can't understand them and they can't understand you will actually help your career. You to play many years. It's going to be a good thing like that. Like when you're just saying all the shit in English, which by the way you barely speak English anyway, speaks like Z and X and everything. Like those aren't even in there. Those consonants aren't even used in English. You daft. What are you doing? When he just flames the up the sport's going to look at him like, yes, I like burger too. Then just leave the back, show us something. It's going to be great. He actually unironically should take the offer. It's the only one that would have made it. Could also be amazing, because by the way, I also low-key would like to LPL or LCK. Also, just for the novelty, it would be amazing to see someone do it. The other person I actually, as a non-joke, I thought should have done it is I thought also that's another option someone like Bjergsen should have thought of. Dom, like just do one last year, like in a cool region, you know, like just end your career with like an interesting experience or something. You know, that would be fun too.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just too far into the TSM hole. You know, like he's now getting like ownership of the company and like that, so he's not leaving at that point. But
at this point in time, the only way he leaves TSM is all I'm gonna say is like Basically, the way one of the sides ended World War II, just maybe leave it at that, you know. Just to take care of Reggie, you know, before he burns all the documents.
Oh my God! All right. All right, Thor. Jesus.
Before he goes in with that can of petrol into that fucking accounting room that they have at TSM.
He meant metaphorically, you know, in League of Legends.
In a video game. We're in video games here, guys. It's not
real. What do you mean? I mean, it's a video game-based show. Like, obviously, we're talking about. Jesus Christ. I mean, I would like to see some of the players that are fluent in Chinese do it. Like, I would like to see Spica do it. I mean, for Shadow, it actually ended up going pretty well. I mean, he went over there, and I actually thought this was like one of the better splits that he's played. They
almost made playoffs as well. They were only right outside. Yeah.
Shadow was never bad. They just
no.
Afterwards, they had that performance, I guess, but it was just they always played good the whole year, and then one bad performance basically. You always say you are as good as your last performance, right?
Yes.
So that's basically what happened to him.
Oh yeah, like, no, it was completely. I mean, when you hear the stories behind the scene where he literally didn't get any offers, like he got 0 offers from EU after that situation.
Dude, this is gonna blow your mind. When we had this guy on Summoning Insight, he revealed this. Like he literally, the reason he came to NA Dom is he got 0 LEC offers after Vitality.
Yep.
For real, 0. As in even. Like in the worst teams wouldn't even give it. Even like SK didn't even give him an offer. What?
Like to me,
isn't that so out egregious?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, he was like he was in his best split. Like yeah, it wasn't that great a split when he left, but like the idea he wasn't even an LEC player. What the?
Like to me, Vitality released me maybe on the 17th. Okay, so it was one day before free agency, and then I'm like, what the f am I gonna do? Okay, I guess I'm free agent. I've never been. Even when I did the swap from Jans to Vitality, we came as a team to Vitality anyway. So like I never experienced that, you know. I don't know how to do things. And anyway, yeah, like to me, I was in. I would have played in regional league most likely, but and I had like 5 NA offers or something, but I didn't like any team. And then a G came, and to me at that time it was a Svenskar and Zizel, right? And I played against them in 2018 when Cloud9 beat us actually. So I had the respect for them, and I still have. I'm fixing that now.
Oh, he's already trying to edit himself.
It's my English, but
yeah, English is not his first language.
Imagine if you can play with Bang. To me, I was just really excited. You know, like I thought our team fighting will be insane, and we can just have many years of playing the game. And that's why I chose an in the end. But for me, yeah, I had 0 LEC offer, and I could have chosen between Spanish and French league. You know, that's it. Basically.
Yeah. Was it? Did you have an agent at the time, or were you just doing it all by yourself?
No, I didn't have an agent because I was never a free agent anyway, so I didn't think I needed one.
Yeah.
Like to me, I was practicing the whole off season as I would play with Vitality. I wanted to go Korea bootcamp, and then there was like all the stress of those months, and yeah. Happens.
And then you saw what happened to the Vitality lineup. I mean, now they're back in playoffs. This is the first time that I think they've made playoffs since you left. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't hate them actually. If you see me on Twitter, I always cheer for them as well on Twitter. Like when there is like the polls, like I'm gonna say Vitality win. But like I don't hate them, and I think now they have. Leader self-made are really good. I think. And
do you see any comparison between you and Leader? Do you think you're similar players at all?
No, for sure. I think he's a crazy guy. Okay, the problem...
He seems to have a similar philosophy to you, basically. Like similar champions. He also believes, by the way, you should smash the lane every time you can from the beginning.
The only important thing, if you're crazy, is if it's good crazy or bad crazy. That's all I need. If you're good crazy, then it's fine. I don't watch as many games. I don't watch detail a lot because I prefer watching LPL and LCK. But... from what I saw, they have mid jungler for sure. They're two best players. Yeah.
I agree, though. By the way, there's a big difference there, Dom. Like good crazy is like, what are you doing? This is a McDonald's parking lot. He's sucking my dick. What are you doing? The stream's live. Does it see the difference there, fans? Good crazy, bad crazy.
Jesus Christ. I mean, the thing is, that's what I would ask is how does like a fan determine good crazy from bad crazy?
The Kent will just follow casters or custom opinion and then use it.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the reason why I agitated for that, you know, is like fans will understand the game into a certain point, and then people will say things to their ear, and then they will just mimic all the time. Like every time there is a comment on Reddit and like he says he did this or that or like a specific thing, I go watch the streamers. Okay, who said this? Okay, this guy said it. It's like so obvious, you know. When you see something that actually you can't relate with, or like, wait, I didn't do this, then you just go on the stream. It's other casters or
they just heard someone else say it and they're repeating it.
Yeah,
always like that. Even when I had, I think it was the Rise game against Cloud9. Like after the game, I was so happy. I played so good, but
it was about you farming jungle camps.
I go on the Reddit. I'm like, wait, what the farming jungle camps? Wait, this, that. I'm like, what the said that? Who's saying that? I'm like, I was playing so good. I don't know if you realize, but
it was Medias, right?
I think at the time it was, yeah. It was the trio there. But like it was so fun because one thing I've been blamed on for the whole year is as well that I'm always home. And I'll explain that. Okay, the Rise game, by the way. Level 3, the junglers were fighting. And I went there, I wasted 200 mana maybe. Then I went back to lane, and they ganked me as 4. I survived the dive, and we got 1 kill out of it. And then I'm home. Yes. But... and then on some stream, people said, why is not fighting the oh, actually it was the middle stream. Why is not fighting the crab fight? He's hinting his team. He's having a big
and then your team won it anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to Saura. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I just fight one time, then second time. I cannot have mana for that.
Yeah.
Should I TP and base on boots as Rise?
I mean, well, the thing is,
and by the way, to explain the play to you, Dom, that you know, like it was like we didn't want to fight that. We did not want to fight that. But then I think enemy D shows on the wave. Yes, Sven shows on the... No, it was King at the time. It was King. King shows on the wave, and then suddenly I think King was like, hey, what the fuck is this guy doing? Go, like this, you know? And then it's a 4v4. So it doesn't matter that I'm farming mid.
Yeah,
at
it's
the
a
start,
3v3,
we didn't want to fight that. Yeah. And then it's a 3v3 or 4v4, whatever it is, yeah.
Yep.
It's like, doesn't matter because enemy D is bot and a mid. And do you want an AD or fucking Akali with no QWE, but we use them on the wave? What do you want in that fight? And yeah, we took it, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because none of those players are actually mid
well,
laners
look,
that they make
this
all these
is
weird
this is literally what it is. None of those people actually have played Rise. Rise goes so fast in early game. Like you use one combo, you're Like it's actually crazy.
If you watch, so I played the lane as well. I think I was playing hard for lane. I was so ahead, but then I gave up my lane advantage
for the top grab.
12 jungle. No, 12 jungle that was fighting on our 3 bush, and Blabber won the 1v1. And then I'm like, ah, shit, I gave up my lane, and I came. Then I went back to lane, they ganked me again, and then I'm home for sure, you know? But yeah, talking about the topic, like, I just want to educate people right now. Like, do you guys think that the only first 3 ways matter, and if you don't have mana, then you're hinting your team? You have a thing called TP that they didn't still remove from the game. If I can just base and go mid, I'm full mana, let's go! You know, it's as long as you're... Like, they're flaming me in scenarios, especially LS. They're flaming me in scenarios where I'm like 5-10 CS up, I have prio in a matchup that I shouldn't have prio. I move, and I come back, and I get double crab for my team, and I'm still getting flamed because I move. I actually can't understand what the fuck is going on, you know?
I mean, I think part of it for this situation was because...
It's when we fight, when we're room. But in the comms, if we're saying don't fight and then we still go, then of course I'm getting the blame, but it's whatever. It's like, I'm still gonna play like that, you know?
Yeah.
Just, I'm only human after all.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm only human. Okay. That's...
Whatever.
That's the boomer one. Can we go back to sucking the parking lot? Like this is some shit.
But yeah.
No, I think the thing that actually changed that situation, and I think the reason why people were criticizing you is because they're not actually watching your pro view for those games. I think that was like the week where I got to watch all your pro views, and that was the week where I like completely like changed. I like 180'd my opinion. I'm like, okay, now I get it. And without watching your pro view, it doesn't, like, people don't understand what the happened in that game. Like, they don't see you walk top, or they don't see like how you're playing in the early part of the lane. They can't see like why you're not at the fight. All they can see is your mana bar on like the right side of the screen and be like, yeah, maybe it's just So I think that pro view actually, I mean, I personally think it helped like your just like I don't know, the attitude towards you a lot. Like, what do you think about pro view? Do you think that this was a major positive for you?
No, I like it because you can, especially for a player like me, I just like I like alpha for like 60-40. like fun and serious at the same time. So I'm always like, you can always see that. I mean, if you see me or Ignar preview, we're always laughing all the time. Just we like the fun thing, and we have a lot of passion for the game, and like we try to make this mood where everyone is having fun, and like it also like removes the pressure of stage, you know, the stress and everything. And especially this was especially actually the shift from the Inter series game 2 to game 3. Game 2 we were full serious and stuff. I'm like something is off. Then game 3 I'm just laughing while I dive people top. I go mid, I calling people, and I'm laughing my ass off all the time, you know. And to me, it's for sure a positive for the kind of player I am, and I guess for the old shots, it's fun to see. But it's something that I was doing already by myself, so I didn't really change, you know. Like in scrims, I was doing that already, and I do it for fun. It's not like I'm disrespecting my enemy or anything. I'm like in scrims, there is even more talking, so it's just the way it is. Actually, talking about preview, the one game I was said about that. You know the leasing game where I ward jump, right?
Yeah.
With that one, the game I had one hell of a game on the scene. I had such a good game, but because of the play, everyone will remember only that.
Yep. And I think it was because of my reaction to it.
Yeah.
Because like that was the one that hit Reddit. I think it was just like me watching a pro view, and I was like, because like I think that like going for it, like I saw the queue and I was like, don't take it, and then you take the queue.
I don't know what happened, but I shielded myself in air.
Yep.
I wanted to W behind, but I shielded myself in. I'm like, what the f happened? And then if you're at the comms, it was like, what's going on? What happened? I keep pressing. And then they went Herald, and they all died.
Oh man. Yep.
It was hilarious, man. Like.
And then you were typing afterwards.
Yeah. No, at the end of the game, it was fun. No, that one. It was like. We were almost ending the game, and the week before, we failed to end the game against Flacos. Yeah, against Flacos, the first week, we lost the game.
Like,
we failed to win the game. We just next. I don't know who called it. I didn't call it actually, but I don't know who called it. Like anyway, we dove and we lost the game, and then I'm like, they were pulling off the same scenario, and I'm like, not again, you fuckers.
Yep.
Not again. Like I'm ending this fucking game now, you know.
You know what I find weird about this, by the way, especially in light of, as we're saying, some of the people who were criticizing him here, like some of the LCS, like former top pros, like legendary names. What I find weird about it is, Dom, like if I'm trying to think of what types of players I want to go to Worlds representing LCS, it's people like Jiizuke, mate.
100%.
I don't want to watch all those years I had to watch of like, oh boy, I can't wait for Poor Belter and Golden. Like, this is a joke. Like, why would I even want to watch that game? Like, a guy be like the 89th best Orianna in the world versus like the best player in Korea. Like, this is a waste of time to even open the game. Or even worse, when they would then try and be like, Poor Belter's actually going to play LeBlanc this game. It's like, I felt like that Gooby meme, like, please, Dad, stop. Can I just watch League of Legends? What is this? Like, I'd rather watch someone like him or Leader actually go and try and actually or Ham. They actually have a chance in the best of one.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, I was one of the first people to jump on the EG hype train where I was like, I want this team to go to Worlds. Because the thing is, like, I watch LPL. I cannot picture a world where TSM goes to Worlds and PoE has to play against these psychopath. Like, imagine, like, PoE versus Knight. Even, like, PoE versus Cryan. Like, somebody who's going to give no pressure where it's like, you're just going to let a utility player roam the map. PoE versus Doinby. Like, can you imagine any of these matchups? Like, he's good. Like, TSM's gonna get rolled. People think it's just like my hatred for TSM, but it's like, no. The reason why I don't want to see them go to Worlds is I just can't see that team performing versus top like LPL and LCK.
Any LCS team that goes, TSM will be the worst. I'm not even hating on, by the way. They might actually go. They might even be the third best team. But I agree. You look at the player strength and the style. Like, they're gonna have a terrible time at Worlds, dude.
I think now that I've been in A for 2 years. I know the problem. It's just everyone is playing to win an A. They're not playing to improve. They're playing to win an A. And I think that conversation happened so many times last year, especially.
And as an EG player, you have to understand, winning an A never even crossed his mind. Yeah, that's how professional he is.
Yeah, playing the right style for an A, but it's like there is only one right play, and it's just improving, you know. And you are the best you can be. I get the point. You are the best you can be. That's it. If you wanna play just for NA and then expect that in fucking 1 month you shift your whole mindset, learn how to play the game from zero and be competitive at Worlds, you're just fucking wrong, you know. You're gonna lose at Worlds.
Yeah.
You just cannot do that. If you play to improve and you are actually aspiring to be better, then you will win at worst. But
I mean, it makes
What do
sense.
you
Are we hating on TSM? Do you actually think TSM's good?
TSM, TSM is good. Yeah, they have the three. I call them the three musketeers. Spica, Sword Art, Power of Evil. They're always together. They they push waves together and they do everything together. And actually, that's a big thing because actually everyone is playing like that now. If you watch TL or Cloud9, they play exactly the same. So exactly as I'm saying, to win an A, they're all playing the style because they have to match it, you know. But like if you watch other regions, no one play like that.
Well,
It's just,
I mean, you don't actually have to
you know?
match it, right? Like, there's other options on the map.
Yeah, you can do many stuff, and I don't
I
match
think
it.
they do. I agree. You know what you
Like,
mean.
I know to win
I think
against
they have to
them,
match it.
it's like, but yeah, I call them the three musketeers. And actually,
Dude,
it comes.
what I find so
it
crazy
comes
about
from
that
the
is though.
thing- Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
I-
What were you gonna say?
No, like the Jensen tweet. No, not the tweet, but it was like it went on Team Liquid. The
Subreddit or
media
whatever.
thing. The media thing. It went to that we messaged each other after the Sage game. I think he wrote something like, Jiizuke, you play Syndraxine and do nothing for the whole game. Like it was in the chat, and I wrote, yeah, just cool. Speak out Sword Art and hope for the best. It's okay. Speak Sword Art with you.
Yeah.
I was memeing to that part. It was like I called them
Sure.
the three musketeers. They always play together.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well-
the thing that kills me about the fact that LCS, if they indeed still do that, is like, if they, I mean, you've watched LPL this split, you should know this, Dom. If there was ever a message being sent by the LPL right now, it's like there is no one style, just play whatever fits your players the best. If you literally were to take the best teams in the LPL right now, they all have completely different playing styles. Like EDG, RNG, and FPX couldn't be more different. Like literally, FPX can literally do the same. Like everyone goes to the bot lane. RNG do everything into the top lane. Like it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like
and FPX is everything. And FPX is the mid laner who's gonna carry the whole fucking game. Like that's FPX. Like
yeah.
And he'll just play like the best champion for the situation. No, I mean I think that's like that should be the beauty of League of Legends is that it can be played in multiple different ways.
The meta right now is amazing.
for
It's
sure.
so wide open, isn't it? Like you can do any of these styles.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
I mean, I think that's like, I think that there were times like in season 6, I remember was super bad. I remember in season 5, like in season 5, they made Cinderhulk so broken in the jungle that as a competitive player, you just like had to play Cinderhulk. And it didn't even matter like how good you were on other things. Like you would take Rush at the time, who was like the best Lee Sin player in the entire world. He would go to Korea, get rank 1 in Korea in like a month, and come back to NA and just like get rank 1 here playing like 80 carry in a month. Like his mechanics were out of this world. And if he was playing Lee Sin into anyone else's Gragas or Sejuani, he couldn't win. Like, it was just impossible for him to win the game. But the game is not like that right now. Like, the game is, there's so many different picks. There's so many different viable options for everything. You know, like, you see teams like RA where they're just blind picking Mundo and shit like that. And they're like, yeah, we're just going to play, like, a utility / tank top laner and, you know, play through our mid laner. They're playing, like, a strict standard style, and that works for them. And then you have people that are doing the exact opposite of it. So... I mean, I think that it's one of the best metas possible for competitive play. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
This world could be amazing.
For sure. I mean, I think this is going to be one of the best worlds. So, Jiizuke, we were talking about TSM. So, I mean, you seem to not be as low as we are on them. What's your prediction for TSM versus TL? The other matchup to see who goes to Worlds?
TL wins 3-0.
3-0?
3-0 or 2-1, yeah.
Damn.
Like,
I mean, they're presumably scrimming them, right? You're
just-
scrimming them at the moment, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious.
Well, we can only screen them, so yeah.
Yeah, you can only scrim TL and TSM because on the other side of the bracket. That's just how it works.
Okay.
But it's like...
Wait, you got to give a better context, though, because the problem is, think about what I asked earlier. I was like, we're not haters, are we? Is TSM actually that bad? You were like, no, they're okay. What do you think will happen in the next fight? TL 3-0. Is it like, what the That's the harshest possible prediction.
Wait,
It's really close, at least.
Yeah,
to
please.
me, it's not even about the scrims I played against them, it's about what I saw on stage, actually. And after the TL against Cloud9, I know that TL completely copied what TSM are doing, and I think they can do it better.
Oh, okay.
So,
There we go.
that's why I'm saying they're gonna win for sure.
There
Like
we
I
go.
just know the game starts and they're gonna win their mid jungle support and just roam somewhere. Alpha is gonna completely demolish top and yeah, that's their style. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think 3-0-3-1 it will be upset if Uni can just match or win. If he wins, then it's my prediction doesn't.
You think Alfari's better than him at the moment?
Alpha is better for sure, I think. But Uni is always like he has a deep knowledge about matchups and stuff. So I'm not surprised if he's gonna win lanes. But I do think Alpha is better. But I think Uni can just destroy the whole TL game plan just like that.
Not so sad you didn't get to properly play with him, mate. You think he's like the fucking Jiizuke of top lane, it sounds like.
Who?
Huni.
Uni. I mean, like I really liked Uni. I was really excited when they said Uni will join AG because I know there will be the chance, that they either don't play with me or don't play without, like, even without them saying I knew something was gonna happen. And I was just excited to maybe play with him. And I know that he likes really crazy matchups, so we can flex many stuff, So Jiizuke of top lane, maybe yeah.
Is that like the thing that you cherish most in a top laner? Like, you want them to just be as flexible as possible so that you have like all these extra options?
Yeah. I mean, I think for example, the thing we showed last week against Nitas is that we played after the first three. No one will think that we are playing Lucian, but we picked Lucian Kennen together for 5.
Yep.
We just blinded Kennen like that, So it's like that's the only thing we show, that we can play Lucian in that case. But if your top lane can just pick any matchup no matter what, then it's always powerful,
Yeah, I mean, you can't pick a better top laner to like potentially be in a bad matchup and lose and like lose the minimum. I feel like Impact is the guy that you never have to worry about in a game. They're like, yeah, you're gonna be useful no matter what. So
that's why it would have been genius, Tom, if they actually could have played Huni and Jiizuke at the same time. Here's why
they
it
could have
worked. It would have worked because there's only one fucking enemy jungler. So while the enemy jungler's in one lane, the other guy's free to just be a maniac like you. That's the nightmare scenario. You can't stop him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would work, actually. Actually would, I think, low key.
I mean, like, to me, actually, like, since the start of my career, I've actually, since I didn't know to play with jungle before, like, to me, I didn't actually get resources. I was like playing this. I'm still playing this style. I do get resources from time to time, but it's like, or like with duty mid or Ignar comes mid and stuff like that. But to me, the most thing that I did all my career was that I get my prey alone, I force enemy jungle to come mid, and I roam one side while maybe my jungle is the other side. It's always been like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so since you were talking about the TL versus TSM, and you talked about Alfari potentially being better than Huni, or like you expect him to be better than Huni, even if Huni has a chance. Like, what do you think about the other 3 players, the 3 Musketeers? Like, do you think that TL just has a better 3 Musketeers than TSM's 3 Musketeers, or?
I mean, to me, Jensen, like, okay, I call Jensen Kakashi the Kobe Ninja. Because every time you play something against him, he copies it. Anything, Like, I think I saw my champion pool in his champion pool the day after of scrims on versus stage or something. He copied some build, and now they are on the meta where they copy TSM. And Jensen the Kakashi Ninja, he has like, he even fucking unwalked the ring again. He's like there, he copied everything over there. And now they're playing this way, and to me they play better than TSM. They play this way better than TSM, so to me they're gonna win the series.
Do you respect that about Jensen? Is that a good or a bad thing that he's the ninja?
Okay, I would respect it if he actually took it from LPL and LCK, but he only copies any things. Right. For 2 years. For 2 years straight, he only copies any things. I don't know why. But if he did with LPL LCK, yeah, I would actually respect the shit of it. Like, making something yours is a special skill. And I mean, I do it as well with that's why I like watching VODs more than actually playing solo queue in NA, because I think in a solo queue actually you just wanna, But but if you watch VODs, you can always learn. And if you watch the first person of, like, I don't know, BD, Shoemaker, anyone, like, you just learn so much. And I think what he does, he's good. It's respectable for sure.
Hey, I mean, he's got it worked out. That's how you get that $1.4 million a year. You just got to win NA. You got to be as best as possible in NA. Because look, there's no expectations. That's what you don't understand, Jiizuke, is there's no expectations once you go to Worlds. You go to Worlds, people expect you to go 0-6. So you're not getting paid based off that. You're getting paid based off your placement within LCS.
Yeah, that's right, The people will only... Okay, so since everyone expects you to lose as Worlds, just fucking win an NA and then go Worlds and lose, That's all everyone thinks. You cannot win at Worlds, right? So just win an A and then go Worlds, and you are expected to lose. So what can go wrong? Instead,
If you play against Team Liquid in the playoffs, Jiizuke, are you going to smash Jensen if you play him? Do you actually think you're a better player than him?
I am a better player than him, and last time he was saved by his jungle support. That's just all the facts are, you know. If you watch, there was preview. There was no preview because we were playing from office. But if you watch the lane, I was maybe 15 CS ahead, and then they just played the map way better, and I could not play. But otherwise, I would have kept my advantage to maybe 30-40 CS for the way he's playing. You guys don't know this meme, but I will explain it now. Like the last time I played Syndra was actually against TL, and we had Jensen is colorblind. Jensen is actually colorblind if you don't know.
Oh, he's colorblind? Okay.
He's colorblind. And I played SKT Syndra against him. This game, you guys didn't see it, by the way. We played this game, and it was remade into next game after. But this game, I played SKT Syndra. And level 1, I never seen a worse laning phase in my life. This guy was 100 HP, no potions, as Oriana.
Could he not see the balls, or like what?
I was about to dive him level 2, okay? I was about to dive him level 2, and game was completely over. Like, I'm going to build the shit out of that. And then he just remade and said we wasted like 30 minutes, 40 minutes about remaking the game. And then I go next game, okay? I go next game, and this playstyle changes completely. It just doesn't contest level 1. It's just waiting level 2, level 3 behind. And just basically play completely different matchup. And what happened this time? Last week I played SKT Syndra. He suddenly saw the spheres. He suddenly saw them, okay? And it happened the same shit once again. And we actually played, and I was ahead. But then I couldn't pressure more because like I think they had prior everywhere. But it was so funny. So to this day, I don't know if it's colorblind or not. Maybe he faked it. It's.
I remember.
Well played, man.
You think the skin looked like that,
good,
right?
by the way. Yeah, so good.
I get that. I actually wasn't connecting that, Dom, the colorblind part. It's because that specific skin, maybe like the color.
Yeah, I think I played I played the normal skin the next game actually.
Yeah, that's just what it is. I remember that there was a problem with that. I mean, I remember him being colorblind. I think Sneaky's colorblind too, because
I am as well. I'm looking it up now. It's because the SKT Syndra skin is like super blue. Everything's really blue, and obviously the map's green, so I could see it could slightly blur a little bit or something.
I don't know anything about colorblindness. All I know is that I think Cloud9 had like 3 players that were colorblind, and when Tom Kench came out, I think this was like season 5. Tom Kench came out, and no one could see the gray health, so they thought he was just. They thought he was just full life the entire time in games. They're like, what the fuck is this, man? This guy doesn't lose any HP? Like, this champion is fucking broken.
Okay.
They didn't know that it was a shield.
Actually, to adapt to what I said before, but level 1, the game with Syndra, like the game we played 2 weeks ago, I fucking queued in front of him and said, can you see the Syndra queue? You are not allowed to remake in 1 minute.
What did he say? What did he say?
He didn't say anything. I don't know, wait. No, he didn't say anything. No. Yeah, he said after like the champions are seeing you, so after.
Okay. I mean,
after game.
So I want to know the origin behind typing in game for you, because like when I was a pro, this was like something that was like no one typed in games, right? Like people were just like, you can't type in games. It's like disrespectful. Like,
didn't you actually used to get punished if you did it in LCS like on stage? Am I wrong?
All I remember,
I
don't remember. I don't remember if you got punished. All I know is that they told you not to type in games. They're like,
right,
you can type.
What the fuck?
They said you could type like GG at the end. You could type like.
There you go.
If like the team was advancing to Worlds or something, or advancing to the next round, you could type like GG, congrats, or you could say like GLHF at the beginning of the game. Like that was pretty much all that they said you should be typing. I don't know if you didn't type that, you can say ready after a pause or whatever. You can type R. But like I don't know if anyone ever tried that, but that was just a common thing where it was like, yeah, you don't type in games. So when did this like change? Like when did you start actually being like loose enough to type in professional matches? Jiizuke? Was it G2?
I mean, yeah, I knew it was a thing for a long time, like G2 talks and then everyone is talking, and I think I didn't do it at start because it was just seen as bad. Like I remember my coaches were telling me it was bad to write as well, like don't write this and that. But this year it was because we went 0-3, right? First week. And to me, I just felt like we were too much serious. And we were not like that in Scrim. Like we were taking it way more chill. Not chill, but like we knew of to remove that pressure from us. And
relax
so
a bit.
So to me, I just thought, what am I not doing that I was doing in Scrims? And chatting was one of them, you know? And I just changed a few things besides that. And chatting was one of them. And then I started writing from there, you know? Like the game 1 start and we're against IMT, and we always talk to IMT players all the time in stream. And so I was like just memeing around, and I just I'm not disrespecting or anything. I'm just having fun of like there is a play you saw like whatever, right? So it was just a thing to put me in the mood, basically, and put my team in the mood. Like, Ingrar fucking dies when I read something, or Impact dies as well, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's just
I
having
mean,
fun.
my fucking chat loves that. When they're pro viewing, when I'm watching your pro view, anytime that you type anything in the game, my entire chat will just type whatever you typed, and that's all I can see in my chat for like a good like 30 seconds. Like it'll just be whatever you wrote. It'll be an XD. It'll be an LOL. It'll be like a happy face, or like no matter what you type, that is all I'm going to see in my chat. So like, I feel like this is just something that's really like misconstrued, and even when I saw it at first, I was like, oh look, it's like
it's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean,
repulsive. It's repulsive to use all chat, man. Come on, don't do it. It's repulsive.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I wasn't like disgusted by it. It wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh man, I'm just repulsed by this. I was like, man, this guy just doesn't give a fuck. Like that's what I thought at first, and now, like, I was like, he just doesn't care, man.
Dude, I actually think, no joke, that is actually one of the things that I might have actually caused Jiizuke problems in his career. I think his playing style being like super aggro, combined with like seeming to trash talk. I think if people have never seen him in person, like they might just take that differently in text, you know, because in text people can't see the emotion. Like if people see here, you're just having fun, you're laughing,
yeah.
Serious. But I feel like some people maybe thought you were like actually like a bad guy or some stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, my reputation was that I was toxic, you know, for like 3, and that's why I was not a pro before, like 2018, you know. I was just seen as toxic, and no one wanted to do anything with me. Even I was like top 10 or rank 1, whatever, you know. No one wanted to do something, and then when I actually started proving myself in teams, people picked it up, and then they saw me in real life, and they're like, "What the fuck, you are this guy?" like I was having fun, just laughing perma, making jokes, and like there is no way this guy's toxic. They thought, you know, and that's with my team. That's is with like all the pro players. Like in Europe, I think I don't know if in NA before Corona, people actually went out together or something.
Not much. It'd be like every now and then.
Stuff in it.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
but in Europe there was like a lot of that. Like every week there is like
of course.
certain
People go to
places
bars
people
and clubs and
went
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, people went into. So like people just know each other from there, you know, and then you make. I mean, you not everyone, but like anyway, you can choose to make friends if you want, you know.
Yeah,
so, like,
sure.
Yeah.
Everyone saw this person that flames in solo queue, but like in Europe, every pro player flames to an extent. Like
of
if
course.
you flame about skill, it's fine, you know. If you flame about the person, the family, whatever, that's fucking bad, you know. And that's what happens in A actually. In A, like they flame so much about the stuff, like the way you look, like your family, whatever, you know. Like, but
Your salary,
always,
like everything, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I only flame about skill. That's it, you know. But like, I don't even flame. I just ironize it all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
just be.
while I've read the shit, I'm just laughing, you know. I'm laughing myself every time I've read something like that, and that's that was the EU way of writing. So.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
thing is, if you can actually trash talk well, though, it's always entertaining. Like, for example, I'm not even going to give any comment on the situation itself. It seems like a perfectly normal situation. So people don't know, in Europe, Upset, the AD carrier Fnatic, just literally announced, for real, not joking, that he's just got married, right?
Yeah.
Just because this is the sort of people that EU pros are. Wonder just replied to it, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Even though, by the way, I've no issue whatsoever with Upset.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
it was what everyone was thinking.
That's what everyone was thinking. And 2,
Yeah.
it was just funny as fuck. Like the timing on it was perfect. One, and the fact it was all capitals, like straight fire. Well done.
Yeah, no, I mean, I respect. I mean,
It's
look,
legit as fuck.
Upset's one of the people that I talked to, and he's never once mentioned that he was getting married. Like next week, I'm like, holy, like what the, like, okay, man, like that came out of nowhere. But I mean, hey, I said it over there. It's wife buff.
What the fuck tweet was what everyone wanted to write, but didn't write. But Wonder just wrote it, you know.
Oh, I mean, I can't even.
Because the Upset put like the thing that only the people you follow can answer to his tweet, right?
Yep.
Only people you follow. So like there were like maybe how much people does he follow? Maybe
It was all
200.
just lovely messages, obviously. Like, yeah, I love you. Well done, mate. Yeah. of course.
113 people. 113 people.
Yeah, he follows no
And
one.
he just wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no, you can tell that Wonder is the guy where you're at the fucking barbecue, and then he goes, "Who the fuck's that ugly bitch?" And you go, "It's actually my aunt." And then he goes, "Oh, okay."
it's like he'd be like the one, like, can I hit? Like, can I hit that, or like, are we cool with it? Like, I'm gonna go talk to her. So, no, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, that's just something that I can't even imagine. I mean, look, I'm 31 in 2 days. There's no chance that I'm not getting married in the next year. I'm not probably getting married in the next 2-3 years. Like, it's crazy to me.
31 is that? No way, right?
I turned 31. I turned 31 in 2 days. Yeah.
You're
To be
31?
fair, Jiizuke, he did go
No
to
way.
Worlds in 2012, mate.
Yeah, I went to Worlds in 2012.
He'd be pretty fucking young, wouldn't he? You know? He'd
Yeah.
have to be like
When
16
did you
or something.
retire? 2016, so you were... Oh,
I
you were
was-
27.
No, I was
26?
20. I was 25, but I was turning 26 that year.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot more normal now, like, because that's like, I think that's just a retirement age generally. It's like 25, 26. I mean, it's crazy to think about this. Like, Bjergsen retired at 24, and it felt like he played for fucking ever, man. Like, I was sure that this guy.
Retired at... Wait,
Yeah.
24 you said, right?
Yeah, I
You
think
didn't say
so.
24. You
Makes
didn't say
sense, I
that
would
before. I
believe
don't
it.
know the age of Bjergsen. Okay, it's 25 now. Okay, right.
Yeah,
I thought you said
That's
30.
it. By the way,
And then I was like, what the fuck, really?
at the moment, currently, Reckless is only 24.
It's crazy.
That's how young some of these players were when they began. No, it's mental, isn't it? Like, you think they're like 30 or something at this point. It feels like it, you know.
Well, I'm just confused. How old did you think I was, Jiizuke?
I don't know, 25 or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you always look like you're in your mid 20s.
Dude, you're young, man. Like, I thought you were 25 or something.
No, I'm fucking old, bro. I'm like dead next year. It's fucking doomed. Do you think I'm making it to Thorin's age? Like,
No, Dom. There is also the problem you have, which is that people insist on using that picture from like 2015.
oh
on
yeah,
all
yeah.
the
Well, I don't take like,
thumbnails.
I don't take headshots. Like, people are like, do you have a headshot?
The LCS one. They always use that one everywhere, don't they?
Dom was living where I'm living right now, by the way, and I
Yeah.
saw him in real life. You didn't look 31. No way. Like, you look 25.
Hey, you ask
Oh
my
my God.
chat. Oh, you ask my chat. They say I look 40. So I guess it really just depends on who you talk to, actually.
Yeah. Dom is like Nansen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, okay, so here's to recenter the discussion. We talked about TL versus TSM. What about like the fact that C9 got kicked to a lower bracket here? What's your take on this team? Are they fucking doomed? Like, this is a team that everyone expected to make Worlds. They obviously won in spring. What's your mentality about C9 right now, and like how did that loss like impact your expectations of the team?
I mean, I think it's somewhere else, but Fuji is overhyped to fucking that. So it's
Fudge.
like Fudge is just overhyped so much that I mean, in a world where there's Alfari, Impact, and Dune, why Fudge is named the first All Pro and why people think he's the best top player in NA, I don't fucking know. And to me, they were meant to have problems.
I mean, you know, right? Like you're saying that, like,
Yeah, no, of course, it's a less. Like, okay, let's say.
yeah, of course.
It's a less buff. Let's call it a less buff.
And also, I'll add this: the fact that he's not from Europe helps him a lot. I know he's not from America, but the fact he's not from Europe, that's great, because that means you can still hate on Europe and still just love that guy, can't you?
Yeah.
I've seen it before in LCS. I've seen it before.
Yeah, but anyway, like it was meant to happen. What has happened to him just because of the swap they did. King is Van, you know. Like
Okay.
if I mean I know because I remember when I was sick 3 years ago and I didn't play for a few weeks. Even 2 weeks, I felt like I was behind of the meta. I thought before that I was ahead of everyone else. Okay. Then I didn't play 2 weeks. I felt I'm so behind of everyone else. And how much did the King play for? A month? 1 month and a half?
Yeah,
Something like that.
I think
So
like 4 weeks.
basically, and the whole team suffers from that, and it's not only the bot lane or like their confidence or everything. It's all the team that suffers from that, and I think you will see recently if they pick Kiev and like agency mid jungle, they could do things, but like
course.
you can still see they are miscoordinated though many times. But it's like it's not the fault of the players, you know. It just happened to be this way. It's what it is. So like I wasn't really surprised, but every time I play them in Scrim, I think. They are all really good players, except the guy in the top.
What? So you think Fudge is actually the worst player on the team?
I of course, yes.
Damn, that's a statement right there. Holy.
Like, I mean, I played against him in lane as well a few times in Scrim, and I saw my impact laning against him on stage. This guy, I say it in so many insights, but this guy has no chance, and his only chance is if he freezes after he's been taken the first tower because he's so bad at lane phase, he just freezes for like 5 minutes and hope for the best. So that's and like I think yeah. So a Nemesis creeper reacting to what I said, this thing, and he was like no comment, and I'm like, and I think Lester reacted to it as well, and like, why? I can tell you why that freeze is bad. Because you have a fucking Viego in mid lane. You don't have a control mage that can just clear the
wave
wave
clear.
if you freeze. You have a Viego. You just hinted your Viego. Your Viego cannot farm and he has to give up a tower. If you actually want to do what you did, just go Viego top. Go Viego top and put Jace mid or something. Then you can clear the wave and Viego freezes. And because he's out of the game already, because he's behind as fuck, Viego's getting the farm, not you. Like, to me, that's the only... I like freezing. I actually like freezing, but in the right moments. You can't just always freeze. You're going into your team.
Yeah, there's definitely like...
because the problem... Do you want to...
Like, I froze on stage many times, actually. If you see clearly, I froze on stage more than 10 times, so...
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say that, like, overall, I had this discussion with LS on Face Check earlier, but I think the main thing that people miss is, like, that freezing is a balance where it's just, like, it's just it's a defined thing where you are now gaining, like, you're denying one full wave of farm every 30 seconds from the enemy team by freezing, and it's like, can you actually get more than that? Can the enemy team get more than that on the other side of the map? And that's like, that's literally all that you're looking at is like, how much are you losing for the freeze versus gaining, and like, can you potentially lose less than you're gaining by freezing? So I think that most people just misunderstand it, and they're just like, oh, is freezing either has to be good all the time or bad all the time. It's either a concept that's like meta or it's not meta, where it's like, that's just not what freezing is. It's just something that you do in games, and like almost any game is freezable. What
the question I had was this, right? Here's the thing, Jiizuke. Everyone was so shocked by your comment that you thought Fudge was the worst Cloud9 player, that the obvious follow-up I've got to ask is this. Dude, the guy who plays your role, Perks, everyone thinks he sucks right now. He's having a terrible split. Is he not a problem? Isn't he worse than Fudge at his role?
I mean, Perks is really good. He will never be bad. It just...
In what sense, though? Like, I'll give you an example, right? I think Perks is really good at playing the map, but, like, laning at the moment, it looks like he has a lot of problems, mate.
Let me think. I think, I mean, it doesn't actually matter because he has still more experience than everyone else. So he's gonna win the lane out of experience. Anyway, but like, it is true though that in spring he was better in lane, but just I think NA solo queue hurted him because I felt this too last year. When I came here, I was like, oh my god, like, I cannot improve if I play to
like, I'm playing Pike only.
No, but I was like 1k, 1.1k LP, and before it was actually rank 20 or something. Now it's fucking 100, but before it was 20, like last year. And I felt I'm not improving. You don't have to play to climb NA solo queue in NA. You have to play for your own practices. So I just go, I'm on a secret account, multiple secret accounts every time, and I just play and I test limits, you know? That's my practice. If I play to climb and I think that I should play macro in solo queue or something, I'm gonna just deteriorate, you know? That's my tip to work. So don't fucking care about LP. But actually, to be fair, LP matters as well because your coaching stuff really wants you to be a LP or something. But to me, it doesn't fucking matter as long as you perform on stage and scream, you know?
I think that's a relatively like new concept because I know like back in when I was a pro, like people didn't really care about your solo queue record or anything like that. It was just all about like how do you perform in scrims, how do you perform on stage. So I feel like the new importance of the on the ladder is a relatively new concept in League, and I think especially for like NA, if you look at how you climb, like I swear I say this every single time, I swear you climb an NA solo queue by just having better mental than the other team, by just like not giving up no matter what.
Ever in it, never. They will throw, no matter what, they will throw.
Oh, no,
I hate that shit.
You told that story, Dom, that Sven story. The funny thing about that story, the one where supposedly him and Vulcan used to just say in the type into the like fucking champ select, like just pick a good champ and don't tilt or whatever. I actually always thought it was just the writing part that was the genius about that, not even the fact you do that. Like if you actually just tell all your teammates basically, let's just agree not to surrender, I bet people are way more likely to just actually keep playing the game instead of like halfway through. If you don't communicate at all, as soon as one person, his game is fucked, he's just want to go quit, isn't he? Like he's going to be the guy doing the surrender vote over and over again. So I actually thought even that like subtle angle of just telling your teammates like, let's play properly or whatever, I bet that has an effect. Like I bet that gets you like 10% more good games.
I mean, it's also just like people try harder when they get certain players on their team. Like when you get Sven in solo queue, you just know that like if you get Sven, if you get Core JJ, like one of these players in solo queue,
if you play right,
you just know that like they're gonna try hard, so like you should try hard. But then if there's other people, it's like if you get Jensen in solo queue, like half the time he's gonna run it down, half the time he's gonna be faker, and it's like you're not gonna put the same effort in because it's like you can tell that he's more relaxed also as a pro player. Like, people don't want to get flamed by pro players in solo queue. They don't want Sven to tell them, "Oh, you're the worst fucking like support I ever played with."
They don't give a shit. Trust me. In innate, they don't give a shit.
Maybe they don't give a shit if you tell them that.
The only thing that matters is that you don't hint in a streamer game. That's all that matters. If you get flamed by a pro player, if you tell a guy, if I tell right now, I go in solo queue, I tell a guy, good luck in esports at 1k LP, he will answer, I don't even want to be a pro player. I want to stream. What are you talking about? What are you on? You know, it's like there is no desire of being of a pro player in NA. Everyone wants just to be a streamer.
It's definitely outdated, but it's easier to be a streamer. So yeah.
Yeah, but to add to my point, by the way, I have 2 secret accounts. I have 1 challenger, and 1 master. I actually play more on the master than the challenger because challenger you get 30 minutes queue, and they dodge like 10 times, and I don't need the practice against good players. Depends really if there are like pro players or something, but I prefer the master having like 5 minutes queue and test my limits 10 games in a row or something. I prefer that over just playing because I'm playing the best league there can be in NA. Let's go on the 1k LP account, something like that. So I play mostly on the master one. Yeah.
What was your mentality when you were in EU towards solo queue? Did you care more about like LP like back then? Because I mean, for me, like I played NA solo queue the majority of my gameplay has been NA solo queue. When I went to EU in season 9, that was like the holy ground. I was like, oh my god, this is the fucking mecca. Like this is the best like solo queue I've ever seen in my life. Right? Like it was literally like the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen compared to what I'm used to. So what was your mentality back then?
I mean, to be fair, NAU has always been very competitive until maybe mid 2018 / 2019 because they did some updates and it was like became pretty bad. I remember like I guess it was the one that they put more challengers, like 200 300 challengers. Maybe it was that one. I don't remember correctly. But anyway, like before I was a pro player, I did rank 1 4 or 5 times. So like I know that I can always be rank 1 if I want. But like to me, when you become a pro player, to me at least, for my playstyle at least, I had to change my practice. I cannot just play to climb. It's not the right way to me. My right way is more like I have to test what I cannot test in scrims or Sage, you know? I'm like, if I had to describe myself, I'm like 300% test limits in solo queue. Then it's like goes down in scrims, and then it's like the perfect form on stage. You know?
What's perfect form for you? Like 150% testing your limits, like in solo queue, like what is the perfect number, Jiizuke?
I'm not sure the percentage is just the perfect one. I'm not sure which one is the perfect one. But like anyway, I swap like that, and I'm always like, if I want, I'm always like challenger. If I want, I can make rank 1, but just it doesn't help me to improve my current state. So I don't wanna climb, or like in NA it's even more because I want to play this style. I need more games. I want to just fucking go out of base and I have no flash. Doesn't matter. I just test limits. I do 1v3 on mid if they come. Like if you see me cheating timers on stage, I do the absolute worst on stage in solo queue. Like I dodge every single timer. That enemy top us a timer on mid, support and jungle together. Okay, go 1v4. You cannot go top or bot. You go behind enemy tower. Like you fucking dive the guy and then you run the other way. Like I'm basically like this. I just. But yeah, to me that is good for myself because of my playstyle. I'm just knowing every single scenario possible is just the best for me.
The problem is, if you use like percentages, people get lost. So we need a different scale. The scale is 1 Hylissang. So in solo queue, you play like 3 Hylissangs. In scrims, you only play like 2, and in just normal games, you just play like Hylissang. So you're a maniac all times. But the scale goes up and down. See.
I mean, you remember the Lee-Sang, but the Lee-Sang is probably top 3 supports I've ever played in my career.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course.
And I played against many LPL and LCK.
I don't know if you were alluding to this earlier, but when you mentioned how like LS and Nemesis was Nemesis flaming you as well, or was it just LS?
He doesn't need to. He's friends with LS, so LS will flame me for his regard, no? What's the point?
Because if so, that would blow my mind.
What's the point of flaming me if you're Nemesis? Someone else can do it for you. What's the
Yeah,
point?
exactly. Because here's the thing: it's one thing when he flamed Doinby, but like, I can't even believe he would flame you, mate. Listen, he just had too many years with Hillersang in his back pocket. He forgot it's like to actually play a fucking 1v1 in League of Legends. Like, if Nemesis actually thinks he's better than Jiizuke, fucking, we need an intervention, mate. Like, something's going wrong here.
I mean, I feel like most players that are competitive think that they're better than everyone else, though. So like, I wouldn't even like care if he said that.
You know, and ego, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Look,
Yeah.
half the time where I watch LCS, like I remember there was a point last year where I was like playing solo queue a lot, and I was like playing versus like pro players all the time in solo queue, and I would win the majority of my games, and I would watch LCS, and I'm like, I'm fucking better than these people right now. That's what I thought to myself. I was like, put me in the fucking game right now. Like, I'm gonna shit on some kids. Like, I'm feeling confident, but I honestly think that is so much of the battle as a pro player is maintaining confidence, like in yourself. Like you can tell which players like lose confidence and what it can do to their career. Like if you don't believe in yourself, like people can smell that shit out like blood in the water. Like,
everyone needs the Gilius confidence. Everyone needs that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
It's the most important one. Fake or real, enemy won't know. So just go forward, you know.
Yeah. I felt like we didn't finish like because we got sidetracked with solo queue and everything, but we never finished on Perks. Like it seems like you have more respect for him than most people. Do you still think he's like pretty much as good as he was, maybe slightly worse because of solo queue, but you still think he's still like a top player?
I mean, I played the different Perks, that's for sure. Like Perks 2018, and then his WAP role, right? He went AD. He was playing mid from time to time, even with caps there, but I mean, for sure, I think that last split he was way better than now. But I think that comes from the solo queue fact I told you, that just NA solo queue fighted him. But I don't think he's bad at all. Like, I think he's a smart player and one of the only mids that fake pressures well.
Is he better than you?
No, he's not gonna say anyone's better than him. He's first team.
Sorry, always puts me on the spot, and I always answer instantly. But he wants me to flame everyone. I'm not sure. He tried.
Just a curious guy.
Okay, I mean, if you ask me, I will always say that I think I'm the best mid lane in any.
I mean, how could you not look?
I'll say that one.
Any single pro that gets first team all pro is never going to be like, yeah, I actually think the guy like, and if they do that, they're literally just trying to like appeal to like fans and be like, oh, look at how, he's like the Jesus of League of Legends. Look at how humble he is. Like that's what they're fucking going for in that.
Spend the point of before to go back. Perks is the one of the only mid laners that knows of the fake pressure in NA. And I explain why. He will fake pressure even when he doesn't have pressure. In NA, any single mid laner, name him. Name any mid laner, they just fucking... If they pressure, they will fake pressure. If they don't have pressure, it is like you can read their movement like this and just... If you have pressure, you will pressure them, you know? It looked like a fucking circle of words, but basically I'm saying that no one can fake pressure like...
Oh yeah, I mean it goes straight back to that poker analogy. If you're doing it more often, it's more believable. If PoE like steps up in a lane and starts pressuring you, you're not gonna be like, oh shit, like is he playing the fucking mind game? It's like it's PoE, man. Like he's not gonna ever like take that risk without it. So.
Yeah, I mean you can watch our last game that we played against Cloud9. Actually, like Sven and Perks were like trying to fake pressure mid so much, and then he was in mid. It was Tristan. He was like. He didn't have kills, but we funneled into him maybe 2 turret plating.
Yeah. It's like with the one where he got all the turrets, right? Like he got bot and then top.
Yeah, so he was so fucking fed, and there is Ven and Perks dashing into him, and he's just hitting them like this. and they are trying so hard to fake pressure, but they just can't, you know? And that's of the winning games as well, you know? That's, to me, you should win games like that if enemy accepts it, you know? And depending on who you play and... Of do you play in the past and what did you show on stage, then people will accept it or not, you know. And people cannot tell unless you tell them with your moment or something, you know. That's just how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so to go back to the original question, it was like, who do you think is going to actually end up going to Worlds out of the three, out of the like 5 potential teams, really? Like, because that's kind of how of UNA, right? There's like TL, EG, 100 Thieves, C9, TSM. 3 of those teams go. No one else has a chance.
Okay, so I think us and TL will go to the next stage because we are going to win TSM and 100, okay? So Cloud9 are down, right? Cloud9 are down. They
So
won't
it's
play
gonna
TL because TL won, right?
So they
So
play
they will play
TSM.
100. They play TSM?
Well, they'll play 100 Thieves and TSM. They'll play like one of those.
Yes.
Ah, shit. If they play TSM into 100, I think
believe they would
I
play
think they have a
100
better chance.
first.
They have a better
I
chance
think they
against
play
TSM.
100 first and then TSM.
Yeah. They'll play 100 first.
Assuming they lose to him, of course.
But yeah, I think it's SNTL no matter what. And the third... shit, I'm not sure because of the state of the... maybe... if Cloud9 improve, I guess it's Cloud9. But if they don't, then it's...
TSM, I'm guessing, right?
TSM. Yeah.
You think 100 Thieves just don't have a chance? If they lose to you, they're just cooked?
To be fair, my opinion is also clouded because I don't see 100 Thieves play for like 2 weeks.
He hasn't scrimmed him. Yeah, technically true.
Yeah.
And they only played the academy team at the end. Yeah, that makes sense.
I played the other teams that didn't play 100 Thieves at all. But actually, in general, we didn't scrim them much. This season, I think we scrimmed them 2 or 3 times.
Damn.
And to me, that one I take that someone in enemy team really doesn't want to play us. I won't say the name, but
Yeah.
I think like that's what I would do against. I remember there was the upset Attila rivalry in Europe.
Yeah. Yep.
And, there was one split we maybe played 2 times Schalke, by the way. When those two go at each other, they fucking go in every game. They made the game so unplayable. You see 10 deaths every game, each other, like whoever it is. Actually, Attila was winning most of them because he had such a mental advantage on upset that after, I think in when they won against us in a BO5, that changed. But before that, it was like really mental gap. Even we played against them to qualify to LAC as well, and I felt like our bot lane had the full pressure, but like upset was like a threat mid late game.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I don't know if I had to say something, it's just I think they don't wanna play some player of our team. Yeah.
I feel like it would have to be you, right? Like, people are just like, oh, like this guy's a coin flipper. Like he's not gonna play like that on stage. So what's the point? You think it's you?
Yeah. I probably it's me. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, many people thought it in Europe. Like the whole Vitality squad was like, we are not gonna play like that on stage. Everyone thinks. But then, okay, so we play on stage, we go 2-0 every week, and then teams are like, wait, oh, they're actually good, let's scream them. And then they go and screams, shit, it's back at it again. They're just fucking testing around. They're fucking diving your tier 2 at 5 minutes. Something like that, you know?
Yeah.
White people in chat are saying Attila was bad. He was not bad at all.
I like what somebody says.
Like in 2019, we were shit, okay? Like, you guys can take... I mean, to be fair, to me, it's sad that the whole 2019 lineup was like just like that. It was boom, totally. And then after, because everyone had a split, everyone was like someone in Spanish League, Jack in French League, Cabochard that the Vitality split, but then he went to French League himself. Mowgli couldn't find a team. Yamato had the caster for one split, but it's like after the tier is like. We just didn't match anymore, and we had to make changes after Worlds 2018 to me. We had to make changes because we knew our problems back then. And if we did that, then we would have all a successful year next year. But because we didn't, then just we didn't fit anymore together, and that's all there is to it, you know?
Yeah. Do you think the like import jungle was a mistake? Do you think like just the idea of importing a jungler like Mowgli was a mistake?
No, not at all. I think if you watch them, what would Mowgli do in scrims, 2018, like you know, this guy is fucking insane at jungling. And to me, but to answer to your question, maybe it was a problem just because it's a coin flip with Koreans. It's like they will adapt to the culture and everything, and talking with 4 English players or they won't, you know. And I mean, it was not even his fault, to be fair. But it's like, I don't think we lost the tier because of him at all. I think we just were so shit. Like, we basically finished worse, right? And to me, thinking about next year, what I did for myself, I'm like, I played against Rookie, and I'm like, if I'm not gonna improve, I'm never gonna beat Rookie. Rookie has been the only midlaner. That was like so hard to beat. Everyone else is beatable. Name him, he's beatable. But like rookie was like so hard. I solo killed him maybe 5 times, but he solo killed me 20 times in scrims, to say the least. And like our scrims look like fucking 0-10 everyone, you know. That was the G2018.
Yep.
And to me, the thing that I did for myself, I bootcamped Korea for 3 months. Like right afterwards, I didn't take a break. My only break was like I went to Japan for 2 days before coming to Europe. That's it. And for me, I think we came to a split expecting a certain level, but we were so down already because everyone took a break and like we were coming back. We had to and we changed the player, so we had to relearn the macro and everything. But we just wanted to start here already. Like and after watching AG, I guess we wanted really to play that style because we already played the style, but I showed an even better version of the style. So we wanted to go even more up, you know. And we just were not there. We started to play there, and then everything was just falling off. We actually took so many wins. We were rank 1 like in spring. We were like rank 1 for most of the season, and I think we ended 2 or 3 even. But still, there were wins out of like outplay. Like I had a good game, Kaba had a good game, Atla had a good game, Jack Troll had a good game, Mowgli had a good game, but we were not really winning because we were a good team. Just like everyone was like having the game of his life on that day, and that was it, you know. And then basically we just we ignored, I guess, the messages in scrims, and we didn't, as Yamato would like to say, take the lessons from scrim and bring them to stage. We didn't do that, and we just we were worse every week that was coming, worse, and then we just I was also sick in January or February, so like it ended up just exploding everything, you know. Yep. We were just not good, and then never had a bad year.
Do you think Yamato's game knowledge is underrated, him as a coach? Because it feels like the narrative is that he's just like kind of like the guy that's going to give you a speech before a game. He's like a leader of men, but he doesn't really know that much about the game.
I think he's kind of fake. I think he's a bit of a fake coach, basically.
Why would Yamato have a bad game knowledge if he was a pro player before? You guys should, I think the narrative should be that people that are not players should have a bad knowledge about the game, not fucking pro players turned coach. That's fucking disgusting, no?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the idea is that he was a pro player in like such an early time where like the things didn't even like really carry over.
Yeah, but this guy could be a pro player. He chose to be a coach. Like if you don't know his story, he chose to be a coach because he basically could not be a pro player in that team that he wanted to play in, and he was coaching because he just came out, but he could have been a player still for like 1 year, 2 years more, or like even more, I guess, if he didn't give it up. And he was still playing solo queue. This guy was challenger when I started playing in 2017, I think. He was challenger. I met him. I remember the flex queue. He will play with fucking
dynamic queue and
splice. Yeah, like that queue. I remember I saw him all the time there, you know. And he was like solo killing my top or whatever. Like I remember, like for sure it doesn't, especially for pro players turned coach. You can never say this guy has no knowledge of the game.
Yeah,
it's like it's very. I don't know who said it, but
I mean, I think that it's just like the way he presents himself, right? And I think the other thing is that I think Yamato is one of the more like humble coaches, where I feel like in NA there's normally this like air that coaches have where it's like, no, we know everything and like we're gonna like teach you like the game. Where I feel like Yamato is much more willing to be like, oh, I don't understand this area completely, like tell me more about this. Like, so he's always like trying to learn from his players, where I feel like one of the big flaws that NA coaches have is they don't learn as much from their players as they actually can by like wanting to maintain that like hierarchy or that structure of always being like on top because they're the coach.
I mean, for sure, like I think a strength of a coach is actually saying sorry. And I never heard any coach apologizing, but Yamato can. Only Yamato can. Saying sorry about, and I guess Peter now, but like, but not as many times as Yamato said. It's like, he really takes, if it is bad, he will say it, you know? And if he thinks it's not as bad, he has player mindset. If he thinks it's not as bad, he will explain why he thinks it's not bad, you know? He just, that's the way it is. And I think that was, I think that's why you also liked me instantly, is because when I came to spring, I legit just went, I played and I was playing really good already, like because we didn't have a break. We played in Giants, we played Spanish League, we did like the finals on fucking December. So we came like all prepared, we knew the meta and we know everything already. And I came and I was insanely mechanical, okay? But I didn't have any knowledge macro-wise or anything. So like everything that was said in the comms, to me, I was like filtering out because you know, when you don't understand something, you just filter it out.
Yep.
And it's like I was filtering it out all the time. So like we go in review and they say, by the way, I said this, so you didn't hear me, or I called Jungle was coming, you didn't hear me. So I was like, at the time I was apologizing almost every day. I think I apologized fucking 500 times in one split, you know, because I didn't know any macro because I was a rookie, and I was just actually hinting my team many times because I just didn't hear the comms. I was just thinking about my mechanical prowess, you know, and that's all I was thinking about. I think anyway, I think he liked me instantly because any time I made a mistake, I would apologize, and anytime I thought I didn't make a mistake and I would explain it, you know. And then because it made sense, they went through with it. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
And that's actually a skill I never saw in NA. No one apologizes in NA.
Yeah. I mean, I bet Thorin, I don't know. We'll have to see, but I mean, maybe Jad had that quality. You know, apologizing to players, like.
The problem with Jat is this, like, in theory, even if he reached out now, hit Alfari's phone, like, look, Alfari, I'm sorry. Just as he said the word "sot," Alfari'd be like, it's too late to apologize. Just like, bitch, get the fuck out. Like, it's over. It doesn't even fucking matter now, mate. Listen, get something sorry. Just fucking get a time machine or something. There's nothing you can do now, is there? You know?
Oh, god damn.
Isn't it? Everyone knows that song. It's classic. There you go. There you go.
Oh man,
this guy's like my hype man. It's
yeah, no, I've never seen anyone that like hypes you up as much as Jiizuke. It's fucking insane. It's like every joke you said, Thorin, it's just the funniest shit Jiizuke's ever heard. Like, I'll give it to you. You've been on fire this episode.
I'm crying. Like, what the fuck?
Not bad.
Now we just gotta wait for Jiizuke's soul to like re-enter his body, and then we can continue going. But
okay.
I mean, we've been going for 2 hours. I've got LPL co-stream in like 6 hours, so I'm.
Holy shit.
We're going towards the end here, but I mean, we tried to talk about, you know, all the things that are relevant. Felt like it was flowing pretty well. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about on the show, Jiizuke, that we didn't get to? Is there anything you were like, oh, I came here, I wanted to like get this opinion out there, and I just didn't get the chance?
Nah, I mean, to me, I just wanted to clarify the death thing, and to me, I meant no harm. I was just again, I was summarizing the thing to my Italian fans, and that was it. And I guess, I guess I just helped a friend out, right? The guy posted I made top Reddit for the first time in his life, so congratulations.
Yeah.
You translated correctly. Good job. And yeah, I hope you become famous. So yeah, that's it.
I love watching all the pros slowly come to just hate fucking Reddit as a place. You know, it's really like summarizing, because like I've been on the Reddit hype train since like 2012 when I got banned. All right, like the first. Go for it.
Okay. Like, to me, actually,
basically,
like,
when you find out how shit Reddit is, dude, it's like that meme where the fucking James Franco guy's got that noose around his neck and he goes, first time, like, what? Yeah. Everyone who's being fucked by Reddit, you know what it's like? If you're just in a big club now, it fucking sucks. Did it happen to you, Jiizuke? Did you get in trouble?
In Reddit?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole fucking split.
My Reddit experience, I'm loved to fucking that. Like everyone loves me, and then everyone hates me.
Yep.
So I experienced both sides of the coin. Like, I was so hyped. I think there was in 2018 there was not a day I was not fucking front page. Like every LCS day, it was a front page moment. Words, I was front page. Like, and then it was like it turned to front page about everything, to about front page about like or not front page, but it's like I was just ignoring
every post game thread.
Yeah, just fucking hated to that, anything like death threats, anything, you know, like basically DMing me on Twitter. Like, I didn't ever felt so sad, honestly, because to me, the same people that typed me up also told me to go kill myself. So you know, it's like
that's why the secret is like, I mean, that's what people always say, right? Like, you can't believe. Well, like, if you choose to believe people that say that you're really great, you also have to believe those same people when they say that you're shit. So that's why I literally, like, you can fucking ask my girlfriend. There was times last year when I started doing this podcast where there were like random Reddit love threads and shit where I was like, oh, this guy's a fucking great podcaster. And I remember telling her, I'm like, I don't take any, I won't even like smile reading this shit, because I know that like the second anything remotely negative happens, these same people are going to come for my throat, and I'd rather not give it any power. So that's that's the way to approach it, man. I think
actually 2 years ago, okay, there was this thing that Yamato didn't. I think it was Gillis one time. Gillis posted on Twitter after a game, and he threw the blame away from himself. Okay, I don't know why he did it, but then one time, this is 2018, but one time in 2019 I did it myself, and Yamato really disliked it. He fucking took me and he said, "What the fuck are you doing? This and this and that," and I just told him that it was my bad. Like I was emotional because I fucking received 2 death threats at once.
Yeah.
And I was like just so emotional. I was like, why the fuck are they blaming me for this? Like I just couldn't see it, you know. And to me, I was like, I wanted to really explain why. And but it doesn't look good for the team, that one. It means I really don't give a shit about my team. But I still did it because I was like emotional at the moment. And
I mean, it's understandable.
It's like you said, like I fucking overjoyed for the Reddit, for the DMs, like the fans, just the fans love. And I also cried in many days on my bed, you know, because everyone's against me, and I don't know what did I do wrong to them, you know. That's, I think that's the story of probably every pro player.
Yep.
But yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, I guess that like you're in the, like, I think the real way where you clear things up is like exposing yourself more to the community in a way. Like when people get to see shows like this and they get to see this, like, I mean, you already know that like just I mean, this has just been a banger of a show. People are going to get to know you more, and you're just going to have so many more people that like understand like, oh, when he's typing, like the clarification is really what's needed. It's like when he's typing, he's literally just trying to keep his team like in a good mood. He's trying to make the environment positive for winning. And like, it's not because of disrespect or all the other things that are going to be hypothesized, because when they start spinning those things, it becomes fact. One person says, oh, Jiizuke is so disrespectful. He's always flaming the enemy team. Like when he plays, then the next guy, and then you get into the thread after that. It's like, oh, do you remember like how much he was flaming X and Y team? Like, I'm happy to see him fucking lose now, that piece of shit. Like he's a bad person. Like that's just how it goes.
The karma.
Yeah, the karma is too fucking strong.
That's how it goes. The good news and the bad news is the same, which is that people are just incredibly fickle and they will change their mind like instantly. So if that's bad, like if they're all hating on you, feels really bad, right? Because you're taking it to heart like a real comment, like, oh wow, they really hate me, they're just all against me. But the joke is, if you just pulled out like a shiny coin or something, they'd be like, what the, oh my god, what's that magic? What is that shiny thing? Oh my god, all worship the master of the shiny thing. They'd all be fucking bowing.
Exactly.
Religions, killing each other. He's my favorite law. Like that's what Reddit's like.
You know what it literally is? That shiny thing is literally just pulling out a stream. If they saw like Jiizuke like stream for an entire offseason and he's just getting rank 1, has some amazing outplays, that's the shiny thing. Look at this mechanic. Oh my god, he's the best Ryze in the world. If he could just get a team, like it's so crazy how that shit goes. So like you really have to just take it with a grain of salt. It's the only way. Oh man. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a banger of a show, man. It was a great time having you here. We definitely would love to have you back sometime. And yeah, good luck this weekend, man.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, you got the best of 5 to determine if you guys go to Worlds, and I can speak for a lot of people. They want to see EG at Worlds, so hopefully it goes well for you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See you guys.